anything, but I'm here.
No worries. Yeah, no,
Well,
I appreciate it. Thanks. Yep, awesome. And I'm gonna post. I'm gonna post everybody to everybody the YouTube and link right now. But while I'm doing that, we can do the recap if somebody wants to volunteer.
I mean, I did the recap last time,
That's right.
so
Yeah, you should be
I totally
excited
know
for
what's
this
going
one.
on, so I can do it. Just kidding.
Awesome.
I
I
am
love
exempt
tabletop
because I have never been
RPGs like
here.
Dungeons and
How reliable do you want your recap to be?
It's okay. I mean, anybody with a good effort would be fine. It's mostly
Okay.
My
like
notes
for me,
are
I
a
want
little
from your
messy.
perspective, yeah. You can do it too,
That's what I was
Corvus. If you want to
saying.
do it, by all means, do it. But
All right. Well, then I want to encourage you guys to correct me because I think I missed some gaps. But okay. Oh yeah, big words. Pep talk. That's a little. That's Pepper gave a pep talk. No, that's a little bit. Okay, here we go. So we started just before we got teleported and blew the whistle or whatever, or rang the bell. We were dealing with the big chandelier. Well, I was dealing with the chandelier that was frying my hair and has given me a new perm. We were able to contact a blue entity that we found out later to be it's it's associated with one of the eldritch goddess, the
wasn't it the god
maiden.
of logic?
It
think-
was the maiden. It's something of
Yeah, it is.
the maiden.
it is based on that.
Yeah.
And we got an attack on it. It let out a scream, and that signaled me to ring the bell. The bell brought us back to the Candela kind of headquarters area that most of us have seen with the topless hostess and also Vingini and the robot butler and the armorer.
Except
we go back there.
in spirit because we were intercepted by what the other group has done.
Right. And, well, we were not in our physical forms, but rather in this sort of ethereal shape. And when we met up with the other group, we were able to communicate with them, but not really interact with them, only through communication. So what happens is we were able to tell them, hey, we got the egg, but I don't know how we're going to give it to you. Quick thinking, Evelyn goes over to the tree that has a whole bunch of coins on it and plucks one, knowing the risk, makes the wish to be able to interact with us so that we can transfer the egg. It is successful. There's some chaos that happens because this egg is not an ordinary egg.
And it should be where they are.
Right, but we were through some quick thinking. I took the bleed and prevented death. Apparently, she was only one bleed away from a scar. I had no idea. I pulled that out of my posterior, but that was cool. We made it to and then we learned a little bit about the artificer machine. It looks a lot like a heavy machine press, and it can heat or shape or bend any metal. There was there was an explanation of some of the gods. Rain being a passion god. Laskana was revealed to be not the free love hippie that communication with her would instead it was more of a lead you in with corruption and temptation kind of thoughts. And then another god, Zyre, god of chaos and magic, and then another unnamed god, Wink, the god of lies. And oh crap, that was the previous episode. Because then we had. I'm also showing that the magic strings being tied to the flare was the beginning, and how.
So you've mixed up all your notes.
Okay, so because then it keeps on going. Okay, I see where I have the break. So the magic strings that are tied that we were able to see were indeed tied. Oh yeah.
That
Okay,
was
the
that
voice
was-
from the chandelier beckoning us to contact it. That's the one what we saw. Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
All
Because
right.
you did that, you saw it.
The
We then
female
crossed
voice
over to the
says to
void
remember
thing.
my name, and now we know that Rinafo, I spelled it Rinafough, is the name that was coming from the chandelier. The chandelier.
Yep.
Uh, there was almost no smoke in the opera room, even though we saw it full of fire. We saw an advertisement that was for a puppet show that definitely was not related to the performance that we were seeing. Instead, we saw a much larger poster that said "The Witch's Drawer and Princess." After that, Riley saw the same symbol on the floor near the stage. There was a symbol that we had seen at the Candela organization on this kind of broken piece of wood on the stage, and we were able to kind of make some ties and connections with Vingini and his cyborg manufacturing must be connected with this. We actually ended up using that board to get onto the stage and snag the egg, but it ended up being kind of a ramp. But it wasn't. Other than that, it really wasn't that important. Other than the mark that we see as a clue. Let's see the. Oh yes, there's a strange poem. The maiden comes to change the world and fix all your mistakes. They plot and scorn and fail and mourn. The world they will remake. So I can repeat that to you if you need, or send you a text.
Damn, that's
Uh,
pretty good.
That was definitely spot on. That was the rhyme. No, it was good.
Nice.
It was good.
Let's see. I rang the bell. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm jumping around a little bit. I mixed up. That's where I messed up my notes. Okay, we had the our spiritual forms, and then we got to see Pepper in the pep talk, right? And Pepper tries to tell us some of the things that happened with the other groups, and that's where I have some of the scattered notes. But Pepper flew very fast and saw a lot of blue. I can assume that Pepper's doing some transportation between the realms. The maiden. Oh yeah, Evelyn told us the maiden is on the way to Candela. We have 30 minutes before she gets here and upgrades, quote unquote upgrades. We didn't really learn what that means, but you can guess it's
Not
obtaining
good.
the god powers. Yeah. Pepper said they like our group, that we're superheroes, and that is the Pepper's mom gave him a secret, but telling us anyway that Pepper can give. But Pepper also used to be his own mom, and then we learned that when Pepper's talking about things, they're kind of they're very generic. Like when Pepper starts talking about their house, and what Pepper meant was the realm that they were in, and because Pepper is able to, I guess, transport between realms, and they call these realms a house or a home instead of like an existence or whatever we would call it.
Yeah.
So we have to remember that Pepper's gonna speak in these kind of euphemisms. We saw
Yeah,
a
and not
clockwork.
give a straight answer.
Yeah, there was a clockwork book that we were not able to see opened. We did. Somebody had a key. We tried to open it. It didn't work. But I don't think we have that anymore. It was with the other group. Yeah, that's right. We were still ghosts, or whatever we
Don't
were.
forget about the owl that could somehow see and process everything in stopped time.
Right. Wasn't
Yeah.
that? It was like a snowy owl, and we saw a picture, and it
Yeah,
had the
it was.
metallic wings.
It's a Yeah, it's like a snowy white owl with like. Yeah, it's like a snowy owl mixed with clockwork.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was Pepper for a second, and I wasn't sure. We didn't get a
No.
name for that,
Yeah,
right?
that was definitely not Pepper. Yeah. No, there's no
Okay.
name. No name.
I
Okay.
still find that wild, by the way, that it could literally process things so fast. It could more or less see through stop time.
Yeah.
Nice.
For the new people too, you can click on the YouTube link, and that will let you see things. Because there's going to be things tonight that you'll have to see through the YouTube link. You won't just be able to see it through Discord. As a heads up. So definitely click on that link in your channel. If you guys don't see it, let me know. But
I haven't been added to the channel, Chris, but that.
Oh, I can
That's
give it to you. I can give it to you. It's not a big deal. Hold on.
I see. I didn't miss anything except for a little bit of
Just the recap. Yeah.
the recap. So,
Yeah.
did they?
shows the
So is
recap.
it better to watch from YouTube or in Discord?
YouTube, because
Did
there will
you
be
guys-
things on YouTube that you won't be able to see
Yeah.
through the Discord.
However, it
Did
would
you-
be ever so slightly delayed, but
Yes.
yeah.
Did
Yeah.
you mention our fun alien friend that tried to kill me?
Yes.
Not yet. Oh, I did. Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Remember that was the whole blue thing that you were
Oh,
Yeah.
on about. That
Oh,
you
yes.
had the whole ball thing.
that yes. I found out what those are called. That is an avatar of the maiden.
That's right.
Yeah. Still find it wild that we managed to, and I say this in quotations, fight an avatar of the god and
I was
somehow
gonna shoot
win.
it. If I had a second longer, I would have shot it.
I just started swinging.
Yeah.
I didn't even know where I was aiming.
You did great.
Anyway,
I didn't do anything because all
So-
my points are in sway and I had no one to talk to.
Yeah.
Hey, yo.
Good luck convincing
shit.
the avatar of the maiden
All
of
right.
anything.
I think we're good on the recap.
Yep, perfect.
Yeah.
So we're going to start literally right where we left off. I'm going to make the day and night cycles a little fast so we can go through this, but you guys do start at night. So this is what ends up happening. You guys end up feeling like you're falling for a rather large time. And you actually feel like your bodies vibrate and shake right before you hit the ground, but there is no impact. It's literally just a blur of things as your stomach kind of like falls back as you feel like you're in an elevator and it stops. And you guys are now within this corner here. Margot, if you could describe what your character looks like, because you're going to be literally right on the other side of the fence, seeing a very strange ethereal blue light just appear out of nowhere in this corner with all of these people just appearing. But Margot, if you could tell us what you look like.
You're muted, Margot.
Yeah, sorry. You are muted.
Apologies.
No worries.
So I am a probably 20s, early 30s aged woman with long black hair. Currently not very well brushed at all. Walking around with some pretty wide brim glasses, looking pretty lost.
Yeah, perfect. And so it was like 4:30 in the morning, and as like daybreak kind of like hits up to go through this, go ahead and tell me what let's just go down the Discord from top to bottom and just go ahead and describe your character so Margot knows what they look like.
okay. So, Algernon is like a middle-aged, maybe like mid-30s guy. He's like a bald spot on his forehead with like really black hair, and you can see that he has like regular civilian clothing. However, there's a bunch of like blood in it that's just like permanently staining the clothing because of all the like medical stuff that he's done and the fact that he's done it in such a short amount of time that there's so much on it that he can't actually wash it off, and he's probably just fallen flat on his ass after he lands.
Cool. Awesome. Thanks.
I'm Cassia. She has this kind of messy brown hair with like white streaks in it, tied up into a messy bun. Her clothes are fairly nice. She has like this red button-up fancy shirt with like golden scarab beetle pin on. Long skirt. She's got this interesting weapon at her side. It's like a little gun with the electronic looking barrels in it, like lightning, yeah.
All right. This is Core. I'm right around the same age, but you wouldn't be able to tell mid-30s because there's not really a lot of features that are left for you to see. You only see Core's face. They're clothing is not fancy at all, and it's fairly patchwork. And I like to call myself a moving lump of laundry sometimes because that's the feel. There is no it's an ephemeral shape, but it's not graceful. It's moving along that kind of fashion. There's only one kind of really identifying mark, and there's a piece of jewelry that goes from Kor's ear on a cuff to their the center part of the nose, and it touches on a band-aid that's on the left cheek. And Kor uses this jewelry to be able to snap out of stressful situations. It cuts into her cheek when she removes a bandage that's underneath it.
It's
Cool. Yep, we can go next.
Riley, you can.
No, you're first down the line. Sorry. I saw you were muted. I'm like, oh shit, it's me. But no, it's not me. It's you.
Okay. So I am a woman about the same age and average height, curly blonde hair, and wearing a colorful, kind of fancy, kind of theatrical, almost carnival-like outfit. just very, just very extra.
Cool.
And is just looking a little bit disoriented, basically.
All right, we can go next.
Okay.
no, it's Riley.
So now it's my turn. Okay. So okay, Riley is a 6 foot tall behemoth of a woman. She is like
Rosie the Riveter.
pretty much, but with dirty blonde hair. And you see under her eyes and her nostrils and down from her ears, you see little stains of red from what you guess could be blood. But other than that, she's wearing, which might seem strange to you at first glance, she's wearing what appears to be the clothing of a male farmer, and she's got some brass knuckles on each hand, and a steel sword at her hip.
Oh yeah, the metal cutting sword. I forgot about that.
Yep. All right, awesome. Who's next?
I think that's it.
Is that everybody?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
Should we say our
teleported
classes
to.
or whatever so Kane can pick his?
No, we'll do it afterwards. That's all good. And
Okay.
we can say in character, like if for Margot, what you guys can do later. So, so we start literally there. So, this is the world of Vale. So one of the things that hits you guys immediately as you kind of like come in is that this smell of wheat, even though it's slightly alien in the sense that it has a small tang to it, the air is crisper than you've ever felt in your entire life.
Oh, like it's more fresh.
That also, when you start to look around, your mind can't comprehend why, but the colors are just more vibrant. Everything looks like it's just a tiny bit more in focus, and you all have this weird feeling of like nostalgia that hits you in like seconds. It's gone as soon as it hits, but there is a feeling of just strange, almost like memory to this. It doesn't make any sense though. You've clearly never been here before. As you start to look around, there is just this golden field in front of you. The thing that's most notable is there is what looks like this very, some of you may have read about them, but most of you have never seen one in person. This weird contraption that if you have ever read about it would be a windmill. But you also see like water, like the ocean perhaps or whatever, and you see mountains and an island to the other side all the way out. But you do know that you are on some kind of archipelago from where you're standing. That's where we're going to start with Margot.
Okay, so did I just see them like crash
You
down?
did.
Is that
Well,
what?
so this is what ended up happening. My description was a little poor. So what ends up happening is that they felt like they were falling, but what ends up happening is right when you see them apparate, there's this weird blue light that almost looks like electricity, but it's too soft to be electricity. It's not as bright, and it looks like a ball with all of these tendrils sticking out, and they do fall what maybe might be like maybe an inch or so, but it's nothing substantial. And some of them do stumble. But yeah, this is probably by far, Margot, the most supernatural thing you've ever seen in your life. And all of these people are just literally in the field. Now you were doing whatever you were doing, reading perhaps, or whatever you were doing right outside the gate here. But this is easy enough to hop over if you needed to. And they are on the other side of that white fence.
Okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna very ungracefully try to climb over the gate while being very excited and being like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Are you guys with the university over there? The Order of the Mytsalmere?
Hello.
I'm sorry, what?
Riley's not paying any attention. She's like glossing over the wheat.
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
we're not the university you said?
Well, university order, same thing. We are. You guys just appeared out of nowhere. You guys have to be a part of it, right?
Like my
We're
character's just
starter.
like half like focused on her, but like more focused on just looking at the surroundings and just everything. And I just
Same.
like half-assed response like, oh god. I really hope we don't have to go through that whole experience anytime soon. It was great meeting those people. Jesus Christ.
Or
That's
stares
like
right
such
at
a
you, Margot,
fun
and says no. But actually, her voice is more like
don't know
no.
Ashna by any chance?
Now, as you guys are speaking, some of the what looks like workers have started to look over, and a woman calls out and says, you can't be behind the fence if you're not part of the staff. I'm gonna need you people to go over on the other side, please."
Yeah, I just
oblige.
comply because
Alright, I'll
I'm
just
too
start
tired at this point.
climbing
I
over
just
the
hop the
fence.
fence.
I see everybody else starting to leave, and I'm like, oh shit, okay. And I catch up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Can I hide in the wheat?
you can. You definitely can. You
Yeah,
actually don't even have to
wait.
make a hide roll for that, as everything's going on, and
I would
she's
love to
actually
make a
quite
hide
old.
roll though.
She's
Wait,
actually
question.
quite old.
Can I just roll to hop over the fence because I want to see if I fail or not?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, so
Please do.
it's
Please.
literally just a move roll to get over the fence.
For me.
This is
This would be
low
great.
stakes
Yeah.
for everyone anyway, but you
Yeah,
just
I
have
know.
to make a move roll.
It's just how
Just-
embarrassing it is.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
because I'm
To
going
be
to do
fair,
so.
No,
I just
Fair.
want to see my character fall flat on his ass.
she goes and walks over to some of her other friends that
you
are
see,
doing this. But
that's a nat one.
yeah, I
Am I
mean,
allowed to make a hide roll or no? No roll.
so she's actually so distracted that if you, because you're in the corner here, if you literally just sit down, you are hidden.
Okay, I'm gonna hide here.
I'm fine.
All right. Yeah, so Algeron's going to fall on his face. The good news is you don't have to take damage for this. You were careful enough. It's just very embarrassing.
Yeah,
I assume everyone else
I
is
just
trying to
imagine
scurry
what
over.
happened. It's like,
Yep.
Yeah.
I tried to
Riley's
hop the
still got
fence,
vertigo.
and, like, the foot
Now-
caught like the top beam of the fence, so I just fell
Yeah.
flat on my face.
So one of the
While
things
he's
you guys
running
notice,
flat, I'm gonna run up and open the gate and like hold it open for everybody else.
yeah,
Yeah,
there's a
four,
gate you
four
can
walks
open,
right through the
Clambering
gate.
over the gate.
yeah. Now the interesting thing that you guys notice when you get on the other side is the forest here is quite beautiful, and like the mountains are beautiful. Like everything about this is really nice. But what's kind of very stunning and also maybe questionable and maybe even frightening is that you also see what looks like a large floating airship off in the distance. These did not exist in Hale or New Fair. You have no idea what this thing is. but it is literally flying on its own, hovering there.
Okay. Could I do just a general sense roll to see? Obviously, it may not work. I just want to see
Yeah, you can see if
if
it's
there's
magic, of
any
course. This is
energies
this is if it's
or
magic. Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. You
Yeah,
can do a
I don't
focus
mean
roll
the
to.
airship in general. I just mean energy, because you know how energies normally should be everywhere. I'm just trying to sense if there's any just lingering around.
Yeah, of course. You can do a sense roll. Yeah, this is low stakes,
Okay.
so yeah. Now,
Yeah.
one of the things that you guys notice is that the street is a cobblestone street. Um,
Yeah,
uh,
that's a 5. So
all right. So, I mean, the only thing that you get out of trying to figure out what's going on, it doesn't. I mean, for all you know, this whole place is magic. But the thing that is different is that there is some kind of weird, like, difference between where you've lived your entire life and this place, as if it's more charged. Now, that said, you don't get any kind of like magical like premonition through this. You just know that this is truly different. It's not just a feeling. The other thing that you guys notice is that so there is this cobblestone street. It does have these like ceramic manhole covers within it, and you can go to your left, to your right, but to your left there's a town that goes through.
I'm gonna take a different approach. I'm gonna pop up out of the wheat and say,
Yep.
"Excuse me, ma'am, what is that hovering in the sky?"
So she walks over and she says, "I told you to get on the other side of the fence."
I have rights. I'm allowed to be wherever I'd like to be.
No, 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 no. This is not
She's
this is not
turned into
yours.
a
You don't
carrot.
work here. And what do
I
you
do
mean?
work here.
What do you mean?
I work
This-
here.
No, no. Where's your outfit? I've never
This is
seen
my
you.
outfit.
No, no, no. You can't.
I
fool
just
me.
started working here today.
No, what? Well, where's your outfit? I told John.
They haven't given me
Everyone
an
that works
outfit yet.
here,
This is-
everyone that works here needs an outfit. I'm sick of John just hiring young women and going. Do you really work here?
Yeah,
He starts
and
walking
I'm sorry,
over.
I wasn't given an outfit yet. I wasn't even told that I needed an outfit. This is my outfit.
Riley is now right next to Ludi,
All right.
looking at this woman.
All right. So now you can make your sway roll. Let's see. Let's see how convincing this all is. Yeah, she is. She does walk closer to you. Yeah.
to be fair, I don't understand why that farm woman just isn't intimidated by like the 6-foot Riley that's there.
Oh, she might be, but you'll see. This woman
I'm
might
gonna take
be.
my failure.
This
I wanna take
woman.
my
This woman might
failure.
be unbelievably brave. We'll see.
Maybe because she saw Riley eat it over the fence.
I'm gonna take my 3 failure because I need my drives back.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that's
I
fine.
mean, that's
She says, "You're not going to fool me and get me in trouble. No, 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 no. Now get over there before I call the consulary."
Consular. Oh, okay. Sorry. See ya.
Yeah, so she goes and shuffles off, and she's now talking to some other people. You can hear her loudly say, "I knew that girl was lying to me, and we probably have to tell somebody." And there, she's going back and talking to her friends. No.
I'm just gonna turn to Margot and be like, excuse me, do you know a Sarah Kinkle by any chance?
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry, a what?
Miss Sarah Kinkle?
You don't, Margot. You've
I-
never heard of that name.
I do not believe I know a Miss Sarah Kinkle.
Right, a friend of a friend. We're supposed to be staying with Miss Sarah. Do you
Did
know
she tell
where
you what part of town she lives in?
Nope.
No, we just got sent here. That's it. We just heard that name. Like a few minutes after talking, midway through, we just got sucked into what that space-time portal there and just got dropped here.
FaceTime. I think your best bet would be to go. I mean, obviously, you guys said you weren't with Mytsalmere, but there is a guy named Eshna who I'm pretty sure he's the Watcher for the Order. I think that is going to be your best bet. Y'all are coming out of portals and all that.
So you've seen stuff like this before. It's not unordinary entirely.
Oh no, it's very unordinary. I know a little bit because the order is based out of our island. They're pretty secretive, but it is my goal to become one of them. And that's why I was hoping you guys knew Eshna, because I'm pretty sure he's my ticket in.
Cool.
Hey, wait,
So
question. GM, would any of us you have to roll to see if we know anything?
About Eshna, you can roll all you
No,
want.
no, just about the University of Mytsalmere, just
Oh
in
yeah, no.
general.
So you can roll a focus roll to see if you've ever heard the name before. You're the only one that has a shot at this. Everyone else is going to be a failure no matter what they roll. But you have something that might tie you to this, but you will have to roll a focus roll to see if you remember.
Okay, focus roll. That is a double 5. So
All right, cool. So you don't know why that name rings a bell until you think back about a time that you were looking at your father's notes, and even though the name Order of Mytsalmere was not in there, the name Mytsalmere, with a weird like symbol that you don't remember, was definitely on one of them, and you just happen to remember this. It kind of hits you. You don't know how that's significant. You don't know why that would be the case. It certainly shouldn't be the case because this place
it's in a
wasn't
completely
in
separate
Hale.
dimension.
Yeah, it also wasn't in Hale, and you're no longer in the place that you were at. So that's private to you, but yeah, it does hit you pretty significantly.
Yeah, like as soon as I, obviously made the roll, my character just suddenly has like this headache of some kind, and he remembers that, he's heard Mytsalmere before, but he doesn't know where, and he just kind of keeps that to himself.
Yep. So, Margot, so you know that Esh's house is literally on the edge of where the gates are that no one can get into, and he lives right here in this place here. So you'll know where to send them if you want to start showing them where that might be.
Excuse me, I'm so sorry. Did I miss your name?
My name is Margot.
Oh, it's nice to meet you. I'm so sorry I didn't introduce myself. My name is Ludi.
Nice to meet you, Ludi.
Nice to meet you. This
yeah.
Eshna guy, you think that he might know something about what's going on here with us?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, he's got to be a pretty high up in the order. I mean, he was got to be the best bet, and I would love to take you guys there.
The Order of Mytsalmere
Correct.
is what you mean. I see.
That would be
Is
very
there anything
helpful.
else about him that you could tell us, maybe that we should know?
Only that he's very hard to get an audience with. I mean, he tends to stay behind his little estate area. So I've been hoping to catch him outside. I mean, he's been known to walk around early, but I haven't seen him yet. I've only been staked out for a couple of weeks. So, I mean, it's possible that I missed him. But
Is there anyone that he associates with that you know of?
Outside of Mytsalmere, I mean, he's a very secretive man. If we go and tell him you guys just appeared out of thin air, I mean, that sounds like a good way to get an audience to me. I mean, it's the best one I've found so far. So we might be able to just walk through the front doors.
It's never that easy.
Why don't we just go over and knock on the door?
Yeah.
Good point.
I mean, he might be interested in what's going on with us.
Yeah, but we might have to persuade him with some other stuff if just us appearing out of the portal.
I mean, there's only one way to find out.
I can persuade him.
Mark, you've heard Candela Obscura before.
No, you've never heard of them, Margot.
That is something I have never heard of. But I mean, it sounds pretty interesting.
That's the organization we're with. We're definitely
Kind
not
of our
from
order.
here, so
Okay, so
another order. Now they would definitely be interested to hear about another order. If we just walk this way, we'll find his house.
okay, so I huddle around with like the main group, sort of like stare at Margot to say, please step over there for a second. We need to have like a small group
I'm
talk. And I
awkwardly
just
take
like,
only 2 steps
yeah,
back.
yeah, and I'm like, yeah, we just in like a group huddle, and I just say to these guys in like a low voice, should we tell them about the whole bell travel thing, or no?
I think we should play it by ear and get a feel for them first, maybe.
Yeah,
Yes, I agree.
I think we should only bring that up when we meet the guy, and only if he's trustworthy. Because if he's trustworthy and we tell him, he might know how to get us back.
I mean, at the
Or
very least, we should, say we're there to ask him if he knows the Sarah person.
Yeah, that's a good point as well.
Or
Mhm.
Evelyn, even if they know
Yeah,
Evelyn, that would be very helpful.
yeah. I have some answers to ask the warden myself, but that's for me alone to know. So yeah, and
Okay.
then after, yeah,
You've been staking. Oh, sorry. We're unhuddled now.
yeah.
Ready,
If
break.
yeah, I was gonna say like if you guys wanna, I mean that's all I had to say. Like is if you guys are finished with TED Talk, then I
Uh,
guess that'll be it.
I'll do better about not running my mouth about Candela and whatnot, and try to like be a
No,
little more
no,
low
no.
key.
Well, like you can run your mouth. Don't get me wrong, but
Or
like,
wants to do a sense on Margot.
oh, good point actually.
As long as there's beer in this realm, I don't care who says what.
Ooh,
Yeah,
can I do a read?
Just
Yeah.
gonna pat your shoulder and be like, "We'll get
Okay.
you a beer. Don't worry."
I need
yeah.
a beer.
You know what? I'll
Roll
also do
It's
it.
been a
success.
long,
Yeah,
it's been a
I'll
long
take the
day.
gilded because they're both fours. So
Sure,
I
but
got a mixed success.
what are you doing a read on though,
Just to see if she's like fully being honest with us. I
Margot?
mean, I'm sure she is,
Yeah.
but
So
just to
so
check. Yeah.
as a mixed success, Margot, all that means is that you just have to tell them your intentions. You don't have to tell them exactly what you're thinking though.
Okay.
Your intentions
Yeah,
from like
my
your body
intentions
language.
are totally to use you guys to get into the order. I seem to be pretty truthful about it.
Yeah. Yep.
I got a success on trying to detect any magic or spooky stuff with Margot.
Yeah, so
yeah,
the one thing that you do pick up on a sense roll if you're targeting Margot directly is that you get a whiff of something for sure like flare related, paranormal related, magic related. You can't put your finger on it and you certainly don't know what it is, but you get a flash of like the fact that this woman has definitely dabbled in things that they don't understand.
Well, that's cool. All right, I like her. Now I like her.
fair. Yeah, I just got a 4 on a sense roll.
Yeah.
Also,
One of the
would
things.
that just be like? Go on.
One of the things for you, because it's different for you, the only thing that you're starting to put together is that she is way too interested in the paranormal for this to just be a passing interest. She must have like a deep hobby in some of this stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
So
So
yeah,
you
I
start
just
to
looked at
walk.
everyone.
Yeah. So Margot, do you want to kind of walk them through to take them?
Oh yeah, no, I'm 100%. As soon as they look like they're ready, I am walking like right in front, and I am just going off about how excited I am to meet this dude.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
as you
Yeah.
start to walk
Wholesome
through,
junk.
you'll point out that this is the main consulary building. This and this is one of the markets that you guys are going through. You also show them that this is some of the main cabbage and potato fields. It's right in the center. This is communal. So that the neat thing about this is that anyone that actually has a job, so anyone that can prove that they are working somewhere, if they are ever in dire need of food, like your family's starving or whatever, this is a communal ground. Everyone shares here, and it's a huge faux pas if you take too much like more than you need and start to hoard it, like other people will essentially it's a peer pressured system where you would basically be talked about through town and feel terrible. But this is essentially set up so that people don't starve to death. This is a way that and by the way, when she tells all of you this is so foreign to you because in Hale, especially in New Fair, if you're from the South Safa and you were starving, unless you had family or people who cared about you, no one would care. They would just let you die. So
Yeah, like
You said
you
that-
are on your own.
yeah, definitely on your own. So this is something the city provides just to make sure that no one is in like dire need. And by the way, if the other thing is if you're taking from here, well, then you're also gardening here and you're making sure that everyone else has stuff too. So that's why you see people working. Also, what'll happen a lot of times is people from, for instance, City Hall and other places will actually come and volunteer their time here as well. So this is kind of a place where people kind of gather and meet anyway. So there's several factory buildings as you guys start to walk through here and other residences, but she takes you to this bridge, and as you walk past the river here, this is the old toy factory. And it's still running strong. This has been around forever. And you guys walk up to the gate, which she does tell you no one is allowed beyond these gates. Not only will the consular arrest you, but there's even like rumors that like people just disappear going past the gate. Like no one goes past this. That's the reason why there's such rumors and stuff, because the Order of Mytsalmere has this giant building off into here that no one's really allowed near, and they own all this land here. However,
Okay, that makes sense.
yeah, you guys walk over to his residence. This is Eshna's residence. He actually he has a large manor house, but then he also has this smaller like workshop guest house. But you guys go ahead and knock on the front door.
Oh,
Who
before
wants to knock? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
beforehand, I just want to double check with Margot. Is there anything you clocked about him? Any interests he has, or any peculiarities, or anything like that?
Unfortunately, like I said, he is a very secluded man.
Okay.
I've never even seen him. I've only heard the amazing stories about him.
Ooh, that's
All right.
not really good when you want to meet someone you never met.
Oh no, it'll be
well,
fine. And then I bang on the door.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
The
So
only thing I wanted to add was that
Yeah, go ahead.
I was trying to sell Margot some junk that I had in my robes because I thought she might be kind of a sucker.
yeah, you totally can before if you want to stop her and say wait beforehand.
Well,
here's some
while we
stuff.
were walking, I was like, "Oh, you like magic stuff?" Yeah, I'm
Yeah, I like
making a
magic.
sale.
Can I
I'm
see,
trying to hustle.
like,
Yeah.
what you
I mean,
got?
Oh yeah, my parents run a
Check out
magic
these
shop, so I'm pretty used to seeing these kind of things.
Yeah.
Nice. Oh yeah, so I'm gonna try and hustle you for I don't know, like $10.
Well, so if that's the case, this is what you would need to do. You're running a sway roll, and because this is an automatic contested thing, you just have to run your read roll as well. So because it's player versus player, so what that means, Margot, is that you will roll read on this, and if he basically gets a success and you get a failure, you disbelieve him, or at least are intrigued by it. Yeah.
Yeah. To be fair though, like I think the stuff that Core has, if we take out, the character context of, they don't know from another dimension, if we consider that fact, it would technically be quite valuable.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh no.
That's
Well,
not
no,
wrong.
it's okay. If she gets less than a 3, I still win.
So I got a 4.
Yeah, no.
Damn.
So this is what you get out of this. So first, what are you trying to pass off?
Oh, it's literally like some of the junk in my pocket. I have like a lot of the cat fur from the cats that were around my
Yeah.
shop,
Yeah.
and it's got some little bits of metal that are held together mostly by the fur, so it wiggles. And then there's some quartz right in the middle of it. That is just a hunk of really cheap quartz.
Oh, gotcha. So you made this. I see. So what do you tell her?
Yeah.
What
It's
do you
whatever I had in my pockets.
Gotcha. Do you tell her about this? Like, do you say this is something? or does it do
Oh
something?
yeah. It's an essence or this thing I was able to grab while we were falling from the other dimension. I grabbed it and I don't know what it is, but I don't know. You can have it for about $10.
All right, so this is what you get out of this. You can you don't know why he's trying to potentially pass this off, but there's one or two things happening, Margot. You believe that he doesn't even believe what he's saying, but also you do consider the fact that it is. I mean, if these people really are from another place and they really did come out of the portal, which you saw, maybe it's valuable and he doesn't know it, but you're not sure enough potentially to buy it. So now it's going to be up to your character. Like if you just want it because it's from another place, fine, but you're pretty sure he doesn't know what he's talking about. Or she. Yeah.
Actually, yeah. Speaking
pronouns
of
work.
Mr. Wiggles, is Larian here?
Yeah, we'll have to see.
But we
Oh.
did the thing. We did the thing.
Larian is not here with you, but it's not that doesn't mean that Larian isn't here. But no, Larian is not with you.
like she
Neither
could've-
is Mr.
And
Wiggles.
it's
No.
raining. She's probably
Yeah.
under some shelter right now.
Yeah, it did just start to rain. And here's the thing: if Larian was here, by the way, there would be other complications anyway. Also, remember, you are in. Everyone has to remember this. Consider your gear, because I know everything you guys have. You are in a brand new place. You don't know the laws. You don't know
Well,
customs.
my
you don't know
gun
anything.
is under my skirt in
Right.
a holster. It is hidden. I am.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why I was trying to hustle for some money. I wasn't sure if the currency was the same or whatever as it
Probably
is in
not.
New Fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
probably not.
Question. You know how when I gained Larian, you know how you said like some of the energies like went into me? Could I potentially do a sense roll to try and track like
Yes.
that
Yep.
energy?
Yeah, you totally can. Yep. Yep.
Ah.
Yep.
Oh,
So.
I think while they're walking,
Yep.
sorry, I think while they're walking,
okay, that is a critical success.
Cool.
Riley's just gonna like see if people are staring at them, and she's just gonna slowly like put her brass knuckles back in each pocket, and
Yeah.
and you know, if she sees anyone specifically staring at the sword, she's gonna try and hide it under her jacket.
Perfect. That's a real survey roll. So go ahead and give me a survey roll, and let's see what you get out of that, because that's useful.
I'd love to.
Also, can I ask, do I look completely out of place in this world?
To some degree, although, so this is what you'll find once that survey roll goes through. That there is some looks you'll probably get. Let's see what Riley gets, and we'll relay it. She's going to do this for the group. So Riley,
This is great. This is great.
What'd you
I
get?
rolled so well. I rolled so well. Like you don't even know.
Wait,
Yeah,
what
so
roll
Like
was that?
it was so well. It was a 2.
yeah,
No, I mean like what kind of roll?
survey. This is a
Survey.
real survey, because
survey. Okay.
yeah, Riley's literally trying to look for all kinds of things, including tails and everything else. People who would be following you. So this is the one thing that you guys do get. So your clothes don't necessarily seem that out of place. However, you do get strange looks, especially when you beeline it all the way up to Esh's house. Now, in the beginning, you weren't getting so many looks, but as it was clear that you are now knocking on Eshna's house, everyone that's around is a bit surprised and looks at you. You don't know if that's because he just doesn't get visitors and that's weird, or if it's something else, but this does happen. And I need to fix the day and night cycle, guys, so don't worry. It's not actually becoming day and night like that.
Oh
I'll
yeah.
fix
By
it
the
for
way,
you. Yeah.
what about that critical sense roll?
Yes.
The whole-
So then the critical sense roll. This is what you know. You are relieved to understand without really knowing how that they're here somewhere, but they're so far away that you can't necessarily track them unless you really like set out to do so. So you
Can
put it in
I
your back of your
gauge
mind.
the general direction?
Yeah, no, you would have a general direction. The general direction is somewhere south, probably not on this archipelago. But if you made it your mission to find them, then you certainly probably could. With a
Yeah,
critical
I just like whisper to like, you know, everyone in the group. We should probably get Larian before she gets into trouble.
That's the other thing. You look around. You don't think there would be any. Everyone looks like they're human. Everyone looks like a standard person. So
Yeah.
But as you do knock, finally after a silence, they actually wait until you knock again. Margot knocks again. They say, "Who is it?"
Hello, we have an appointment.
Highly doubt that. Leave.
Sorry, I've already forgotten your name, sorry. We came here because we found out that you are the leader of an organization, university, that deals in certain things. We need
I
some
brought
help.
people who just appeared out of thin air.
Mr. Ashna, if this is who we're speaking to, we were told that you would like to speak to us because we kind of just appeared here. We're from a different world altogether.
Stop speaking nonsense, girl. You're going to get attention from the consulary. And Margot, do you say anything?
I just said, well, they said they were with another order too, Candela or something.
Hey, please do not say that out loud. We
Well,
do
he
not
does-
know who's
He,
listening,
like-
and
He
we
does
don't
say-
know who
He
knows
says,
about it.
so he as he hears that, he opens the door and he says, "What was that name? What did you say?"
Candela?
He
Candles.
So he ushers you inside. This is the first time that you're able to see him. Give me 1 second.
Okay, I'm
Or
assuming
does an
that's
immediate
cheating.
sense roll?
Let's pull him up.
I do an immediate read roll.
Yeah, to be fair, I'll probably do a sense roll. If he has, if not on him, but in case he has any objects in his house that I can do it on.
Yeah, for sure. Just give me 1 second.
Okay,
Yeah, you can. Here we go.
Yeah, I'll take the gilded because it doesn't matter. They're both nat ones.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm taking my gilded too, but it's a fail.
So he opens the door, and he says, "Come on in right now. Where did you hear that name?"
I'm gonna show him the pin.
I'm immediately running him.
Name.
Yeah.
You show him the pen. He was like, who made this? Who put you up to this nonsense?
The people that hired us.
Yeah, what do you
We're from
mean
New
this
Fair.
nonsense? Yeah, we're from New Fair.
He says, well, what on earth is New Fair? What acapella? And he looks, and he knows. So he
Look
says,
at me.
he says, I've never seen any of you people in my life. He says, you, I remember you, and he points to you, Margaret.
I just kind of sheepishly, kind of lean behind other people and, kind of poke out and wave.
Yeah, I just, casually, grab her shoulders and, gently move her in the sight of this person.
Yeah. He says, listen, I don't know which island or archipelago New Fair is. It sounds like nonsense, but I assure you I know all of them. Now tell me the truth. How did you learn that name?
Sir. Riley pipes up. Sir, I want you to look at me. Real carefully. What do you see?
Actually, yeah, I just say, look
He
at
looks
us.
up to you. He actually has to look up.
Do we look like we fit in?
Yeah, this man is around 5'7", and he looks up to you and he says, oh, "What are you from the mountains?"
We're
He says,
not.
"I've never."
No.
He says, "I have literally never seen a woman this tall before." He says, "But seriously, let's all calm down. Now let's start over. Where did you hear the name Candela?"
Okay, so...
We are Candela.
We were invited into the order back where we're from, which we think is another world. We were bamfed here after some very creepy and dangerous things happened.
Maybe involving something very nasty, which we probably shouldn't tell you about. But...
And we're looking for information. We're looking for some people, and we'd really appreciate your cooperation on this matter.
Can I make a read roll on him?
Yeah, for sure. You can make a read roll.
Yeah, I'll do that as well, because I have a Yeah, I've gilded in reed. Although I don't have any drives, so I don't.
He
Full
says,
success.
okay, so
Question.
as you're
If
reading him,
we-
he says, he says, for Varen's sake, he says, Candela is an order? It's a blimey order? That's what it is?
What do you know about it?
So, and with your read, this is what you're getting out of him. Yeah, go ahead. You can ask your question first. Yeah.
If I have 1 second, let me just pull this up. If I have no drives in cunning, would I still have to make it a gilded dice, or would it just be a standard two?
If you have no drives and it's still gilded, it still counts as gilded. You don't have to.
Okay.
Yeah. As long as it's gilded, it still counts. You don't have to use a drive to gild it. So
Okay, I'll take the gilded.
Okay,
5.
perfect. Yeah, so you'll get a drive back. Yep. So this is what you get out of him. He is aggravated because at first he clearly thought that you were just essentially liars, and worse, it seems like he is a slightly importantly, weirdly dangerous man in the sense that he was. With your read, you kind of get the calculating thing that maybe he was thinking of like alerting someone, possibly the consulary, which wouldn't be very nice considering he just met you. But then as he genuinely starts to like be interested in what you're saying, you see that all of that is now behind him, and he does seem to be like not only putting up with your presence but processing the stuff that you're saying and maybe slightly even believing you. And he says,
I would like.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, it's okay. Go for it.
I want to speak more calmly and gently with him and just tell him, to be honest, we are very new to all of this. We were just inducted into Candela. Things have gone very crazy, very quickly. And we're also just looking for answers to understand exactly where we are, why we're here, and if there's anything that you need to know from us, we are here to tell you. We're just looking for answers ourselves.
Okay, wait. Out of question. Technically, isn't this our like second or third day in Candela? Like,
yeah, you're very new. You're very
You
new.
don't need to know that.
You're very new.
No one needs to know that.
You're very new. Yeah.
I'm trying to be vulnerable with him.
As far as anybody else knows, we are professionals and we have our shit together.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We've encountered a hell of a lot more than the average person normally would.
That's right.
Yeah.
In a short amount
It's
of time.
been a crazy 3 days.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to lay it on thick with this guy.
They just appeared out of thin air.
So he says I'm actually inclined to believe he says, and Margot, right? He says, and you brought them here. Well,
Yes.
I see. He says he's thinking, and he says there's a lot to unpack here. Unfortunately, and you're in his living room. He says, unfortunately, though, you're going to have to all sit around my table, and we're going to have a real talk. And if you don't sit around my table, then I will not help you. So there's
Okay. So
there's a circular
before
table.
anything happens, I would like to do a scent roll on the table.
Yeah, that's fine. So this is what the table looks like. It's a circular table. We don't have to bring it up yet, Farley. It's a circular table with a candle in the center. There is enough chairs for 10 seats.
Okay, that is a critical success.
Yeah, you don't like. So the candle is a white waxed candle with a bunch of runes that have been gilded on them. You would imagine that something is going on with the candle. You can't feel anything, but it certainly looks like something that wouldn't necessarily be trusted. It looks like it could be arcane.
I feel that, well, okay, I can't really whisper this to the group, so never mind.
But he sits down at the table and he says, "Join me and we'll talk, or you can leave."
Riley absolutely joined.
Collapsed. Yeah, Riley already collapsed halfway into the closest chair.
I sit closest.
Oh yeah,
to him
I'm
as
like
well.
sitting like I was already sitting, and I'm like sitting, like smoothing my dress, smoothing my hair, making sure I look like all nice and proper for this man.
Okay. All right.
He holds my future in his hands.
All right. Perfect. Yep.
While Riley's got her head in her hands and she's slowly massaging her temple and slowly getting closer to her ears, just like, oh my god.
Yep. Does everyone sit down, or does anyone?
Yeah, I just pull up a chair and sit down, and I just look around the room just to look at stuff. Actually,
Could I
Laura goes
also
and
look
picks the
around the
chair.
room?
Yeah.
actually,
I'm gonna pick the
question,
chair right next to the guy, and I'm gonna. I don't know. I don't need to roll this, but I've been staring at him pretty much the entire time, and I had a whole little monologue I wanted to give to him, and I figured it out just before we all get to sit down. So before I sit down, I say, the barrier between worlds is growing thin, and we have bled into yours. Clinging to etiquette might be the end of us all.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
let her
Question. If I were to do a survey roll, could I then follow it up with a focus roll to see if anything like I can remember?
Yeah. Of course. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I would like to do a survey roll with like more of the intention of, is there anything I can see that I can use in my favor towards swaying him?
Yeah. Of course.
So that's
of
the
course.
full success on the survey, and then I'll
Yep.
do a focus roll. 1 second.
I'll do the description for both of you too. But
boom,
yeah, go ahead and do the focus roll.
Yeah, and then that's a mixed success for the focus.
All right, so this is what you see looking around. So, and we'll see if it gets to be. There is a chance that you guys will actually visually be able to see the room. But for now, so outside in his living room, there is a portrait of a ship that looks like it's sinking in a storm. The most notable thing is that that's over a fireplace, and then you have this table in the center, which is a little odd because there's not much else within his living room. However, what you do notice off into his stairway, which literally is lined with some kind of golden like metal, and the fact that his floors look like they're made out of like some kind of strange red wood that has purple hues. This house looks very expensive. The other thing that you also notice is that on the fireplace mantle, there is what looks like a clock that keeps time. That looks very expensive on top of it. So it looks like he has a little bit of money for sure. The other thing, so you're going to be able to remember all of this, by the way. You can remember this pretty well. And the one thing that was Ludi, right? That wanted to see if they could. Yeah. So Ludi, I mean, you kind of get that he might be interested in like nautical themes from the ship itself, but it is kind of like a weird picture to have because it's of like an impending shipwreck. The only other thing that you're looking around to see if you could like maybe find some common ground with this guy is that it seems like he has money, so maybe maybe he likes nicer things, maybe he likes finer things. That would be the only thing that you could really gain from that. But as everyone sits down, he takes what looks like a metal device out of his pants pocket, and then he literally strikes it through the table. It's just metal. It's like a little metal bar. He strikes the table, and what happens is this very strange green flame lights up on the metal, and he lights the candle with it, which creates a larger green flame. The golden runes on the candle literally light up as if there's candlelight inside of them. So something weird is going on. His eyes sheen with like a green as well. And he looks over every single person at the table and he says, and he puts his hand on the table itself and he says, now, tell me the truth. Which one of you is a nail? And what do you know about the null?
Sorry, what now?
The what?
What?
Good.
Can
He
you
looks
spell
over
it?
everyone. He looks over every single person. He says, good. He takes the metal piece, he puts it back in his pocket, he takes the candle, he extinguishes it. He said, I just had to be sure. Good. So, he says, all right, I tend to believe you, but what proof can you show me that you are actually from another place? Do you have anything that's hard evidence.
Oh yeah, we still have that bleed containment thing, don't we, with the spirit flower?
You do have a bleed containment vial.
Ah, yeah,
We
we
all have
still
the
have that.
pins.
What? Yeah, we have the pins, although he did see that and thought they were fake.
Tell me, sir, what do
Um,
you know of Candela?
He says, well, he says, certainly know the name. Didn't know that it was an order. Let's just say that we found a very, very old thing that had Candela written on it. That's all I can say for now.
Wait, I'm sorry, Jim. What? Your mic cut out when you said an old something.
An old thing. Yeah, an old thing.
Ah,
He
just
did
old
say.
thing. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can't tell us what it was.
Not yet, but
Yeah,
maybe.
well, the thing is, he probably does know what, not probably doesn't know what it is, but he probably has like a general idea, but isn't willing to share with us because he doesn't like know us. It's
Well,
it's like when you withhold information because you don't fully trust someone.
He says,
I
"How?"
wanted to
If,
ask you.
go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
No. He said, no. You can ask me.
So I couldn't help but notice the sinking ship on top of your fireplace there, and it reminded me that we are from a place called New Fair that is currently completely flooded, completely underwater, and everyone is really suffering. That's where we're originally from. Are you aware of that place?
Sorry, young woman. I've never heard of that place in my life. I'm not even sure that it exists here.
Okay, and I just look at the
Doesn't
group
exist
and I'm
here. It
like,
exists elsewhere.
should I show him the flower? And I just look at everyone because I'm fairly certain those flowers don't actually exist here based on what we've seen so far. They might,
I
but
think
Why
it's
not?
not likely.
I think it would
Why
be
not?
worth it to show him anything that might show him
Okay.
that we're being truthful.
Yeah, okay. So I reach into my back pocket
Yep.
and I grab the bleed containment vial and then I just place it on the table, directly in front of him.
Yeah, he seems to. His eyes dart through it. He actually seems to be more interested in the pile itself almost than what's inside of it. But he does. He's like, this is. He said, this is masterful. He says, and you said Candela gave this to you?
Yes, they have many of these.
Yeah, they
One of our
do.
tools.
Yeah, this is a low level one. We could get high level ones, however, we're not in the organization long enough to get the resources for them, and we were kind of in a situation where we couldn't really get any new ones.
I see. He says, tell you what, this is what I'm prepared to do. We have not done this in several years. But yes, and he looks at you, Margot. He says, I know the town talks, and I know there's rumors. They're all true. I am a watcher of sorts for the house on the hill up there. He says, this is what I'm willing to do. This is definitely proof. I can definitely show others now. I can go and I can take this up into the order itself. I am sure.
Okay,
I am sure once they see it, that they will be infinitely interested in it.
We
Okay.
go with it,
We're not
or
giving
you
it
don't.
to you.
Okay.
I cannot send you past the gate yet. This is going to be
Okay.
the whole thing. You're going to have to either trust me or not. He says, but he said, this is what I'm willing to offer you. I will not just be taking this for free. So he says, we have not had an inductee in years. However, all inductees are offered a manor house. This is not just a normal manor house either. In exchange, and you will get the item back, by the way, but in exchange for allowing me to look at this and validate it, I will set you up across the street.
Okay,
into
so
Witherboom.
yeah. So as he, like, after he finishes talking, I just say to him, "Okay, inspect it. However, whatever you do, you must not touch that flower. Believe me, I have touched another one similar to it, and I am still getting over what I saw.
I
So
see.
please, you can look, you can let it out of the vial, but just don't touch the thing itself.
It's
For
a
the love of
He
God."
says
containment vial
this
for
is
a reason.
amazing. He said I have never seen anything like this glowing flower, but the vial itself, something that can contain something from the beyond. That is interesting too. He says so.
Oh,
He says
that's what you
this.
call fire.
Yeah.
Okay.
He says so. He says this is what I'm willing to offer you. That residence will be yours as long as you stay within the order. Now, here's the one thing I will say: the order is not exactly, let's just put it this way, it's kind of a
Not
commitment.
friendly?
Well, no, we're friendly. It's just that this is a total commitment. If you decide that you no longer want to be a part of it because things get too dangerous or whatever, I will say that the way to get out is not the most pleasant. We don't do anything barbaric, but there is still consequences, which we will get into if you decide that you want to be part of the order. However, for as long as you are part of the order, you will be able to stay within the manor house. Now, the manor house is not just an everyday manor house. The reason why we choose Witherroom, which is the manor house across the street, is because it is quite haunted, and it does have a very, very powerful resource that will allow you to get your bearings into the hidden world that you're about to experience. You see, everything is not what it seems here, even though folks don't necessarily believe in the supernatural, as I'm sure you're starting to understand, given the fact that you've just given me a glowing flower and a device that can contain it. Things are not what they appear to be. And that is what the Order of Mytsalmere has been working on for centuries. So, if you're willing to trust me with this, then I'm willing to hand over the key and I will get you set up. Out of character, this is
I'm
a
willing.
full 3D environment. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Well,
So, go on.
let's not get hasty here. We're already in one fancy secret organization. We don't know anything about this world or your organization, to be fair. We're not going to just jump right into it.
Of
Well,
course.
also,
I've
we're
only
looking
dreamed about
for
this all my
someone-
life. I'm jumping straight in.
Well, you go
I'm
right
doing this.
ahead.
Well,
You go right ahead.
no, that's fair, madam. That's fair. What kind of questions would you like to ask me first?
I don't even know where to begin. This
Well-
is a whole new world. Like you say, you know of the beyond. We also know of beyond the veil, beyond. But we must be from beyond that, because this is
Well, he
Yeah,
says,
because
this is what I can tell
we
you.
call the beyond the flare, not the beyond.
Interesting, he says, the flare. But he says, this is what I can tell you for certain. There are things that are not human, that are conscious and intelligent,
we're
that exist.
well aware.
Yeah, we are well aware of that.
Well aware.
Ah, I see. He says,
We
yeah.
fought some of it.
you fought some of it.
Several of them, actually, if you think about it.
Yeah, a couple of us almost died getting here
He says,
Yeah.
well,
from fighting some of those things.
he says,
Some
well,
of
by
us
all
still need a
means,
doctor.
by all means.
Wink.
Actually, he says, you know what? I do want to know, but I'm going to bring others once you've been validated. Unless you want to tell me directly, because what you could do is you could also. So I am a watcher. I am set up specifically in this place
it.
to find paranormal activity, to make sure that it stays in check, and to bring others in if I need to go through it. However, he says I have my talents. We'll put it that way. But he says, so by all means, if you want to tell me, I am infinitely curious. But
Okay. Wait. The question, because I created the focus roll last session to draw that blue alien thing.
yeah.
Would
yeah.
that still apply because it was a crit focus roll?
Oh yeah, you can draw. You could have a drawing of
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
So I just asked him, like, do you have like pen and like paper,
Yeah,
preferably like.
he gets it. He
blue
gets you.
and
He gets you parchment and an ink pen. It's an inkwell pen that you have to
Yeah.
dip in,
Okay.
but yeah.
So Yeah, I just like sketch this the figure from last time, and I just show him it, and I just say to him, "That is what we thought, which caused the circumstances for us to go here." Now, it's not the direct cause of it, ish. It's the way that we left it that brought us here.
He says, I have never seen this before. He says, what manner of creature is this? This is so fascinating.
This is an avatar of the maiden, some eldritch being we know not much about. But I have a few questions. Do you know
I do
anyone
as
named
well.
Evelyn?
Evelyn, do you know the last name? Is she famous?
Do I know the last name?
No, unfortunately you don't. However, what you did pick up on, and she did tell you this, and I'm going to let you remember from your other role, is that she is in the newspaper. She's a journalist.
Okay. I don't know her last name, but I know she's a journalist.
Oh, that young woman who disappeared. Yes, Evelyn the journalist. Yes, she's
she
quite
works
missing.
She works for Candela now, and she's where we were.
Wow, what on earth?
She sent us here and told us to find someone by the name of.
By the way, I retcon that was a mistake. He would never say what on earth. that's a complete mistake. Retcon. But anyway, he says what? Yeah, he says what? How?
Great Scott!
I don't know.
Scott.
She told us to find a friend of hers, Sarah Kinkle. Do you know who that is?
Well, no, but I'm sure I could find out. Interesting. Sarah
We were
Kingle.
told to find her.
He writes that down. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
From what I can tell, from what we've heard so far, it seems that your order is some kind of parallel to what our Candela is. I mean, it seems like we have exact alignment in what we're trying to do, what we're facing. The only difference.
I was gonna say I wouldn't say exact alignment because we haven't really experienced the organization. We've only heard about
Let
it.
her finish.
But,
Yeah,
sorry for interrupting.
The one thing that really stuck out to me is that there are consequences on getting out of it. We never heard of anything like that with our Candela group. Could you tell us more about these consequences if we would decide to stop once we join?
Yes, the things that you will be investigating and potentially even going against, being rivals of, it's dangerous. It's dangerous just knowing about it. It's dangerous looking into it. As a matter of fact, not everyone that we've had has been quite successful in keeping their sanity. And so, unfortunately, that means that the more you dig into these things, the more of a liability you could be. And if you were, of course, to stop the order, it's not like we could just let you leave. So there is a ritual that would take place that would essentially wipe all memories of your time with us. Now, I will be honest with you. It's a little worse than that. Well, it's worse. The ritual is unreliable. Sometimes it takes memories from places that we don't intend to as well. So it's a real.
Why haven't you guys, I don't know, perfected that before inducting new people?
Oh, we've tried.
Feels kind of like an oversight
Well,
on y'all's
we've
part.
certainly tried, madam. The problem is that magic is not necessarily something that can be strong-armed, or just perfected with study. It's a very.
It can only be guided.
Yeah, we are doing the best we can. As a matter of fact, we have an entire group of people actually trying to do just what you said, but along many other things, but we haven't had any kind of progress with it yet. But that said,
I have one more question.
Oh, go ahead, miss.
Have you your order? Have you aligned with or made any deals with any powerful beings or gods?
Oh, good heavens, no, madam. Oh, wait, what do you know about gods?
Well, we have encountered some people who say that they aligned with certain gods for certain deals, and we'd rather stay apart from any of that.
No, of course not. I mean, how could we
Lascana
fight them?
specifically.
He said, what did you say?
I said Lascana specifically
You
is who
are.
we've heard about.
You are. This is all very real. Who else do you know about? Yes, we know all about Lascana. Who else?
Rain.
Rain. Um,
There's an unnamed one.
Zaire.
Yes, the god of
Fire,
change.
Rain.
He says this is
Siege.
he starts writing all this down. He's like, yes. He's like,
Maiden.
I am quite sure at this point that you will be inducted if you wish to be. He said he says, look, this is what I can tell you. Outside of the fact that it's not really in your best interest to leave, we do have the best intentions. We are trying to save all of us. That's our goal. Our goal is to find a way to... Now, here's the truth. The truth is, thankfully, it's not like they can just appear in front of you. Like, these entities are held at bay for reasons we don't understand. That said, their avatars, they have cultists. They seep within the world. But, I mean, it's not like they're just going to, like, appear here one day, thankfully. If they did, all would be lost, right? So,
Well,
but that...
There's where we're from.
That's
Well,
kind of
actually,
happening.
in the flare specifically, there is some issues that we're hoping are being taken care of as we speak, but we're kind of trying to help stop that from happening. But there is a threat.
Interesting.
Yeah, there is.
Interesting.
Hell,
There
where
are
we
two
came
things I
from.
would like to do.
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna say, like, from where we were, like, there was an impending apocalypse, more or less.
No, that's good information. Like I said, I'm sure you're going to get an audience now. I believe everything. He says, and by the way, he gives you a key. Who wants to? He just holds it out. Someone needs to take it from
I grab
him.
it.
Okay, you can take it. You can take it. So the key.
Margot's very excited about this.
Oh, okay.
So Margot, the key is made of pure gold. It's literally like heavy, and you can tell the metal is like softish to some degree. It's very impractical because the key itself is also made of gold, like the actual key things. He says, be careful with it. Don't bend it too much or whatever. But he said, this is the only way into the house. Once you get in, the doorway, as you see, is flat, and things may not make sense. But I assure you, this is set up with your best intentions in mind. This is to prepare you for what's to come. Also, there is a library that defies everything, as you'll see.
Ooh,
And,
Is-
book. Yay.
oh yes, and it has an extensive encyclopedia of things to come. Just don't go into it too much. Don't be too zealous, because the library has a damned mind of its own, and it could be dangerous if you were to just go in and just try to consume everything. So just keep it in moderation. But you'll see also all your needs will be met in there as well. You can come and go whenever you wish. There's going to be food in there that's beautifully set up from all over the other regions, as you'll see. There is a caretaker. However, you will probably never meet them, although who knows, maybe you'll get lucky. That said, this is the most enchanting, paranormal-driven place in all of the archipelago. So I promise you, this is a priceless, infinitely, like you could never buy this place. So that's our gift to you.
Yeah. I'll be honest, that entire house sounds like something straight out of Harry Potter.
Like you've been failing at the real estate market, and so now you're pawning off this haunted house that may or may not attack
Absolutely.
and or kill its occupants to these total strangers from another realm that you've never met.
Oh, I assure you, madam, that's now the house is not entirely danger free. That said, we've actually never lost any of the inductees to the house. However, you still need to treat it with respect, as you'll see. And he takes you out of the house and literally points to the house over here. This is the manor house that you guys will be staying in.
Okay.
It looks
I would like to
haunted.
do.
I
Yeah.
love
I would
it.
like
So
to do
Yeah.
2 things when possible.
sure, of course. No, go for it.
I'm not sure which order they should go in. First, I think I would like to say, firstly, thank you so much for taking us into your house and for listening to us and for giving us a chance to explain ourselves and for giving us access to this house. This is this is quite a lot. It's more than we expected. We didn't really expect much coming here. Um, that being said, I was curious if you would be willing to share with us uh, what was it you were going on about asking us which one of us is the nail? Is that related to the the gods we were talking about, or is
No,
that
I'll
something
tell
else
you.
entirely?
I'll tell you. You deserve to know this anyway, as this will be something that will come up in your travels. The Nail is a group of unlike-minded individuals. They worship something, an energy called the Null, and they, quite frankly, are wreaking as much havoc as possible across this side of the region. You see, they look for paranormal artifacts and speak to the dead and all kinds of other things because they have it in their mind that they are going to eventually rule this place. Worse, we have it on good authority that they are actually trying to convene with eldritch beings to make deals and all other kinds of things at all of our disadvantage. Now that's just one. That's just one group of people that you will have to potentially deal with. There are others. Matter of fact, there's an entire hidden island that is trying to worship a being from underneath the ocean that is quite frightening. But we'll get into all of that later, and it's not my place to induct you or tell you any of these secrets. He says, I will tell you that I'm sure that people, once they hear what I've said, will rush over. However, the most important members in our order are right now on their own journey. So it might take some time, maybe a couple days at best. But like I said, you'll be a priority. So
Okay.
I see. Thank you for that
Um,
information.
I'm gonna walk up
The
and shake his hand and go, I won't let you down. And then walk away.
the one
I
other thing I wanted to do was just make a quick read roll on him to see if he's leaving out any information
yeah,
or
of
if he
course, go for
seems
it. Go for it.
untrustworthy in any way.
No, go for it.
and
Yeah.
and while that's happening, Riley's just gonna pipe up. This is an unrelated question. Might seem kind of ridiculous considering the gravity of everything else, but what currency system do you guys have here?
He says, "Oh, a money exchange." He says, "Oh, well." He says, "The denier." He says, "What do you have?"
What do we have?
So you can show
Riley
him.
knows, but Anna does
It's
not.
okay. It's totally fine. So you can show him the currency. So it's you basically use these flat coins. They're on the higher denominations. You have bills. Um, it doesn't actually. The currency is never truly like fleshed out. In Candela, it's one of the things they hand wave. So it doesn't even matter to us. But you show him the coins. Yeah, no. He says that's not going to work. Unfortunately, he says you might be able to sell them, but he says don't worry about it. He says I will. We'll get you set up.
okay.
Yeah. We'll get you.
Yeah,
set
maybe
up
in
so
the
you
in-
can live.
Yeah, maybe in the interim, I don't know. Maybe I could work in the fields or something.
He
Because
says, Madam, I
that's
assure
what I
you
did during the
that's-"
day.
He says, Madam, I assure you that's not necessary. You will certainly be earning your keep, as you can see later, because I assume you will be spear tips, meaning that you will be off doing your own investigations, as you seem not only competent, but most definitely experienced. So, but we'll see, and it's totally up to you as well. He says, "All right, so I'm off." He gives you the key. he walks you over to the door. It doesn't have a traditional entrance in the sense that as you start to walk around in this green door, as you start to like look at it, there's no obvious keyhole. He actually takes his hand and he brushes it over, and you swear there's no dust or anything. There's no keyhole there. But as soon as he shows you where it's at and you brush your hand over it, you can see a tiny hole, and he has you do it. It's almost like it's like a proper like permanent illusion. But every time you get into the right area, you can see the hole again, and you're able to put the key in.
Yeah.
One last question. I'm so
Yep.
sorry to
No,
keep you
no,
longer.
of course.
Have you heard of Renafuff?
I have not. What is that?
Okay.
Yep.
It was a name that we heard. It's very suspicious to us. I was just wondering if you had any information.
Yeah. He does say, he says, unfortunately our neighbors were having a bit of a scuffle with him as well. He says, so he points to this place over here. He says, they work all manners of the night. It's going to be noisy. And he points over to that pole there too with the sheep. He says, this is unfortunately a slaughterhouse. He says, and they've been working essentially all through the night. We're taking care of it. As a matter of fact, I don't even like this. It doesn't matter. This business there's something going on here. But he says, he hand waves it out. He says, so if you hear sheep screaming in the middle of the night because they're slaughtering them, don't worry. It's not women being murdered or anything like that. We are getting this taken care of, though.
Cassia's just making a face. She's not used to the most humble places of living, and the slaughterhouse there is just nope.
He says
Riley
we're actually
is.
trying. He says we're actually doing civil action to try to get them to get moved. So we'll see what happens. But anyway, he says if you're ready, I'll let you inside.
Riley's mentally planning to steal a sheep.
Yeah.
I'd like to ask about Varen. He mentioned it like in place of God. He said by Varen.
Yes. Yep.
Cor wants to ask about. Would like to ask about who is Varen?
He says it's honestly it's better if you go to church and get a real actual. And he does point over in this direction. By the way, there is a church off in the distance here. He says there's actually several around. He said you learn all about Varen. He's quite frankly, and he gives you a wink. He says not so sure he's really up there, to be honest. But you'll see when you go to church. There's a whole story.
I'm just gonna whisper to Core, organized religion.
Yeah, I'm looking very disappointed.
Yeah. He says,
Okay, so I was gonna say I very quickly for a brief moment just take the guy out of earshot of everyone else and just ask him, how does my father know about this organization? How?
He says, who is your father?
He's Jonathan Drake.
So he says, are you sure that's his name?
I am positive that's his name.
He says, this will be interesting. He says, listen, I don't know what's going on here. Let me put it that way. Let me get back and talk to them, and you'll get answers.
Okay, and then with him, I just bring him back to the group.
Okay.
Right. Sorry,
Riley's
guys.
Riley's currently feeding one of the sheep that has wandered over close to the fence.
All right. Yeah, you totally can. And there are several sheep over there. I am going to transition us inside. So this is actually the entrance door that you guys will be in. Let me get this going because I'm doing it in the editor. All right. So this is Unreal 5.4 with Lumen, by the way. So as you guys do walk in and the door closes, there's a couple things that you notice. First and foremost.
Oh, that's pretty.
First and foremost, the door is completely smooth. There is no real, at all, handle or anything. Not even really sure how to get out, but as you touch this thing here, the door will open and close for you. So you know now you just have to touch this to open it. Now, as you look around, this is quite a stately manor house. And what's also strange is that as you get out here, you wonder, like, are all these artifacts now yours? Perhaps they are. And sure enough, there is a meal already prepared for you. It looks like the equivalent of your sturgeon with wine, and it looks like some kind of thing that you've actually never seen before, which we can get into if you go through it. There's all kinds of pastries and meats and other things at the table ready for you, several things of wine. The other thing is that you have there are empty curio cabinets, and there's books and other things on top here. You wonder if this is the library he was talking about as you come over here. There is what looks like a globe as well. It is rather dusty in here, but so there's all these like whisk things going around. You also notice there are suits of armor. Out of character, you do now technically own everything within the house.
Nice.
The other thing that you notice is there is a very like lit fireplace that has like a dull burning ember thing going on. This is just the area here, so I'll let you guys get acclimated first, and you guys can decide what you want to do. There's also a clock to tell time. There's these strange gears as well. You don't know if they're ornamental or not.
Okay, so I would like to do a sense roll on just the house in general.
You can, yeah.
Okay. I'm just curious as to what this is going to show.
And remember, these don't work as like detectors
that's
or anything.
A failure. Yeah.
But so this is what you do. You're kind of overwhelmed by all of this. You do get the sense of some weird presence in the house, though, even with a failure. And there are several paintings and other things. There's a stairway to go upstairs, and there's other rooms and stuff. But yeah, no, it's quite. I mean, for all of you, especially some of you that have been living in poverty, this is by far the nicest estate you've ever known, for sure.
Yep.
So.
I've gone inside. I'm a little bit more like, oh, this is.
And by the way, there is a strange rug of animal that you've never seen before. Like, it looks very strange, the color patterns on it. Yeah, everything on here seems like it's for sure like meant for very wealthy individuals.
Okay.
I'm beelining it for the library.
Yeah. So for as you do that, and as you go over to this library, there's a couple of different things you notice right off the bat. First and foremost, surprisingly, none of the binders are labeled, and they all are this very strange leather that you've never really seen before. It's got this weird golden gilded thing in it. But how is this a library when none of the books have anything on them? You're very confused by this.
Okay, I would like to take a book off the shelf and open it to see if there is actually anything in it, and if there is, if I can read it.
So there is stuff in it. It is written in the language that you understand. It seems like you guys share a language miraculously, and you start to read through it. And did you want to pick up another book too? No, not you. I meant the person that beelined for the library. Did you also want to pick up a book? I think it was
Margot.
Margot, yeah. If you're talking, Margot, we can't hear you.
I'm sorry. Do any of the books look like the one that I found as an occultist?
So no, so it doesn't look like the one you found as an occultist. However, strangely, the smell is very similar. That smell of old pages that has some weird incense-like smell, almost like a cinnamony smell to it that you can't really like grasp. They have the same kind of smell.
Okay.
Question: wouldn't it be funny if you could just like smell bleed?
Yeah, you'll have to see. Some bleed.
Oh, that'd be wild.
So as you pick up this book and you go through it, it has normal words in it, but they start to run on themselves, and then the whole words start to literally scroll across the page. If you want to read a book, this is how it works. So, this library has very, very secret, very important knowledge of not only different kinds of beings, but just paranormal things in general. However, if you start that process, it comes at a cost. And the book is by the way, as you start to go through it, as it scrolls, this is what the book is translating to your minds. Anyone who does this is going to get this information. So, you have to give a little piece of your attention to the book. And the book decides what you're going to learn and what you're not going to learn. Now, you can ask it in your mind the stuff that you need, but the book ultimately decides. What this means is two things. You have to make a survey roll first, and then after that survey, you're literally searching through the book with your mind to try to figure this out. Then you have to make a sense roll, or you can make a survey roll and a focus roll, and you get two very different things depending on what kind of questions you're asking. So it's either survey and sense or survey and focus.
So it's like you're actively questioning it. It's not just reading it.
That's right. Now, the other thing that's interesting is all the books are actually different as well. That's actually where the survey roll comes from. The survey roll is you choosing which book you think might actually give you the right answer. And then once you have that book, because they're all different, even though they don't have bindings on them. And then once you go through this, and by the way, there's a lot more to this mechanic, but this is just the start of it. So.
Okay. So I'd like to, put down the book that I was looking at because it was just to see if I could read it. And one second, let me just do a survey. Okay. And then I will, let me just roll. And then I'll just look for a book that's just about, just the Eldritch God to see, like, if they have different knowledge to us. So I'll just give that survey roll.
Okay.
Oh, that is a mixed success. That is a 5 at best.
Okay, so you start to put your hands over the books, and you start to open up a couple, go through it. One of them, you notice that there's a little more gold than the rest, and it just intrigues you when you open it. Go ahead and give me, what are you going to do, focus or sense?
I'll do a sense. Slash
okay.
Roll.
And what is the question? What are you trying to get?
That's a critical failure on both.
That's okay, perfect. So we get to learn our first thing. So what was the question?
Perfect, he says.
I'll get the gilded because it doesn't matter. Both of them are one.
Yeah, that's fine. What is the? That's okay. What is the question you were asking?
Wait, which one was the chaos and magic god?
Zyre. Zyre. Yeah, Zyre.
Yeah, I was just asking it information on Zyre.
Okay, cool. All right, so this is what ends up happening. So all of you see this on a critical failure, and this can only happen on a critical failure. You notice that Algernon is a little too still as he picks up this book. Now, Algernon, this is what's happening to you. You start to reach out, and then you start to think about what could, like, Zyre look like. What you're trying to get all this information out, like what's the realm called, all this stuff. You actually start to see this purple void. The void becomes incredibly bright to you, and you cannot move. You can't breathe. Everything around you is starting to feel worse and worse and worse. Now, one of the things that, because you asked about an Eldritch God, and because this is the God of Change, I have to roll something. Yeah, all right. So you're gonna have to pick a color for me.
Well, what are the options?
And it can literally be any color in the world. Just
any color. Okay. Green.
All right.
Like just deep green.
Okay, deep green. All right. So, in a flash, unfortunately you take a bleed mark for this. In a flash, you are let go, but you look around.
How much? Because say just one.
Just one bleed mark. You look around. Okay. You look around, and everyone is staring at you because everyone can see that Algernon's hair literally starts to grow on his head now into a full. Actual, like if he was, I believe you were balding before, correct? So
Yeah, like the front
yeah.
of my head was balding, and then the rest
So
of it
you
is like
grow a
short.
full head of hair that happens to be a very, very dark green.
Oh my.
Oh.
All of you see
Well,
this.
I'm gonna
Riley
Now-
slowly close the book that
immediately.
I was looking and put it back.
Now, here's the thing: you will literally not be able to stand these books, or you can decide if it's just you're sick of them or you're frightened or whatever. But for a whole day, you're locked out of this process. So
yeah, I think my mind is just, like the self-defense mechanism of because you had a bad experience with them, you avoid them for a certain amount of time. I think that's probably just what's going on at the moment.
now this effect is permanent unless you like take it off, like unless you shave your head or something. Your hair is going to be green. Now it is possible to dye it, but you would have to dye it white first and then dye it a different color.
Yeah, like standard
Yeah.
dye and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, to be fair, he is an interesting hair color, so I probably will keep it.
Bad hair day.
Yeah.
Riley's
Or has already been-
immediately going to usher the doctor away from the bookshelf. She's like, nope, 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 fuck that noise.
While
And she's gonna take him over to like the table where the wine and food is, and she's just gonna fix him a plate and a glass of wine. Pretty tall glass
Yeah.
of wine. She's like,
before
that
I'm gonna say like wait. Let me I that just happened from reading a book. I just want to look at the food and inspect it to make sure it's like not
Yeah, of
poisoned
course.
or anything.
Of course, yeah. So go and give me a focus roll on this, on the food.
Focus. Oh, cool, like that. Gilded.
Yep.
while she's doing that, Riley's slowly bringing her own glass of wine slowly to her face. She's not drinking anything yet.
Mixed success.
So you notice that all the wine bottles look like they are incredibly old, but when you open it to smell the wine, it smells amazingly good. It smells expensive. Now the wines are different, by the way. Not all of them are the same. You got is success, mixed success.
Mixed success, yeah.
Yeah, so as you start to look at the meals, first and foremost, the thing that's so shocking is that they were just prepared, meaning everything is fresh and hot, and none of it's been sitting there, none of it's stale. As a matter of fact, you don't remember the last time you've actually had a meal that's literally this fresh. But the other thing is that it smells amazing. You're not entirely sure that it's not poison, but this is what you would know. If it is, usually it would smell off or something, and you take little tiny bits, and it tastes amazing. It does not seem like it's poisoned.
Yeah. Okay. So
I'm gonna
as soon
sit
as I
down and
sit
get a whole
down,
plate.
Now here's the
Yeah.
interesting thing. As you start to look at this food, one of the things that you start to focus on is there's literally these half things of bread. Well, inside of them is this really amazing tangy like goat cheese that has some other kind
Oh
of
my
like
God.
cheese in it as well, and it's made out of the bread itself. This is food, by the way, you've never had. You've literally never had this
Fucking
stuff
love
before.
goat cheese.
yeah.
The other thing that's interesting is these are small little potato cakes. There is what looks like a larger lime thing, and it certainly smells like it. It has a different taste a bit. It's sour like a lime, but it's much sweeter, as if it's almost like a fruit in this case. It's actually sweet. Yeah. And then you have these other things too. This is definitely some kind of like pork thing. And then as you start to look, there's different things to eat or whatever. And you wonder if he's telling the truth, if these are just going to like replenish or go through things, but it's literally super fresh. Now, the wines are all different. One of them literally tastes like candy. This one over here in this bottle here, it doesn't even taste alcoholic, but you have to be careful because if anyone starts to sip this, you can't taste the alcohol in it, but it is alcoholic, as all of them are.
Okay. Question: is there any fish at the table?
There is. That not only is there fish. Yeah. Go.
So
So
Algernon is just drawn to the fish and just like ignores everything else.
yeah. And as you notice, there's this dish as well, which is a whole fish that they've set up. And as you start to like look at this one, the fish is actually like you've never seen anything like this. It's actually a little meaty, but it's more like salmon. But it's got a weird texture like meat or whatever, but you find that it's really, really surprisingly good. So yeah, no, it seems like all the food is fine. There are these cupcakes that are different too. But yeah, no, this if this were to always be refilled and if it were to be fresh or whatever, yeah, this is definitely something that you guys are not used to, or at least many of you wouldn't be used to, food wise. So
Straight up, just piling up a plate because it's been days. I'm starving. I've
Yeah,
been
Core's way
eating
ahead
out.
of you. I'm already
Yeah.
sitting in front of the fire.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna say like Algernon
Yeah.
has more or less just got like every single bit of fish and just put it on his plate and is eating as if he hasn't eaten in like weeks.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I mean, for some of you, I'm not going to say how your characters feel, but this is probably a level of consistency and safety for some of you that you just really haven't had in a long time. And if this is your life going forward, maybe you think to yourself it's kind of worth all the trouble you've been through, maybe. But yeah.
This is Riley's first time anywhere remotely as nice as this. Like, stepping into stepping into Candela, like that was really nice.
Oh, is it like
And
that
she's
feeling
just
all over again?
times infinity. She has never seen a cupcake. She has never seen
Yeah.
like
No, that's
listen,
that's
she's a
definitely
farm
accurate.
girl.
No, not only that, I will say this: for anyone that isn't wealthy, that's super accurate. Because remember, we're around the 1890s. Sugar is like a very expensive commodity. Number one, and number two,
Yeah.
when it comes to pastry and stuff, unless you were rich, honestly, yeah, you just really don't have access to it all that often, if ever.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it wasn't
Riley's
sugar,
holding
like something for like the richest of rich or something. Because like
Riley's holding a whole bottle of wine because she's like, beer comes in a bottle, so yeah.
Now, there is, when you guys are looking through it, there is this really strange large bottle. And as you open it, it's a viscous liquid that smells a little bit like sweet strawberried bubble gum. It's not wine. You literally have no idea what it is.
okay.
I've never smelled gum before, so
Okay,
Right.
so
the
I
tiniest-
Yeah.
yeah, I'm
Bubble
gonna say like, I pour like a slight amount into a cup just to get like a better look at it than just
Yeah, it's
looking
thick.
into the bottle.
It is thick and it's viscous, but it's certainly drinkable. And if you want to drink it, you can.
Does it remind me of like a glaze, like a fancy glaze that would go
It
on
is.
a cake or
It's
something?
well, no, so it's a little too watery to be a glaze. It does seem like it's meant to be a drink, but here's the thing that happens when you pour it out: the liquid slightly glows. It has its own light.
Okay, that is an automatic sentence.
radioactive. Don't
I'm
drink
gonna
it.
take a sip.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean,
How much
wait,
would you
Yeah,
like?
let me just drink this radium
so
that's
how-
coming out of a bottle.
Okay, there we go. I'll take the
One
gilded. That's
sip.
a
That's okay. No,
crit
no.
success.
So just a small sip. So this is what you. So it tastes literally amazing. It's warm going down, and as you start to drink it, it's actually really hard to stop drinking the whole thing. I will allow you to
Oh, dear.
make. I will. You can make a control roll for this. This is technically not
Oh.
really control, but we're gonna break
Yeah.
the system.
By the
a
way,
bit and go to
that is a crit on the sense roll just to see why it's glowing.
It's you get the impression that because it's glowing, it has to be magic. You don't know what it does, but it's definitely magic.
Aha. Full
I think
success.
if
Okay.
I got
so
if
you,
Riley
this on my
sees him-
gilded, so does that mean I
So
get
this-
a drive back?
You do. You get a drive back. Now, here's what happens. You can't
Nice.
stop drinking it, but you get the impression that it's good for your body. That's what you get as you start to drink it. Doesn't mean that it is necessarily, but that's the impression you're getting. You do
Like-
want to drink more, but you stop because you don't know what this is or whatever. It is glowing. It's strange, but you do get the impression that it's good for you.
Actually, you know what? I'll pour a bit more for a glass, and I'll do a focus roll. Actually, that's something
Okay.
I should probably all do.
Yeah, that's
Because
fine.
because my character's a doctor, he
Yeah,
should
exactly.
probably know
Yeah.
a bunch about substances and
Yep.
stuff.
Yep, go for
Yeah,
it.
that's another critical success.
All right, this is what
Nice.
you get out of it. It smells and has the properties you believe of something medicinal, but without trying it, you'll never know for sure.
Yeah, I take a sip. Like the whole thing
Now, with the
was
critical
like to
success,
inspect
with
it
the
and
critical
then
success, you're going to get
open it.
all of it because you did get a critical success. Like, here's
Yeah.
what it is. This once out of character, so you feel better as you start to drink it. What's happening is you actually get to heal a body mark once a day. However, there is a cost. If you ever drink 2 sips of this in a 24-hour period, and I'm talking 24 hours to the minute, it will literally give you a heart attack. It will kill you. So
yes. I just take.
You can tell everyone that now going through it, but you notice too late. There's there's literally a very, very, very tiny inscription across the whole thing of this that actually explains that you are never to drink this in a 24-hour period, ever.
Okay,
But
so I just turn to everyone and I'm like, okay, so this is good for you, but I do not recommend drinking it, or not drinking it. I wouldn't recommend taking 2 sips within 24 hours. Because the amount of stuff that's in this thing will probably give you a heart attack.
I took a sip. Do I clear a body mark now? Or
No,
does
you
it
have
mean
to drink
like
more.
a glass?
You have to do more. Yeah, but you can take the glass. You can absolutely do a glass and clear a body.
So when you said like a sip, did you mean like a serving, like 1 glass?
No. For you, because you rolled the control, it was like tiny, tiny amounts on your lips just to taste the flavor. But you can drink the whole thing. You can drink the whole thing and it won't count. It won't kill you. So you can drink a glass to get the effect. But then if you drink another glass, then you're running into it. Now, out of character,
Okay.
you can actually take the risk. You can 100% try to heal your next body mark. But what that means is that you literally just have a straight D6 roll, and anything other than a 6, you die. It's
the extreme roll.
Exactly. Yeah. So in anything other than a 6, you die, and you can't modify.
I'm gonna pour myself a glass worth, and then just like, okay, this is it. If this will heal me, great, cool.
Yep.
And that's it.
Yeah.
What does it do against?
So it literally, if you have cuts on your body, it will literally seal them up, and you feel amazing. It
That
also
big
takes your
bruise
pain
on
away.
my shoulder.
It takes your pain away. Now, anyone that actually has wounds on them, even if they're not necessarily a body mark, this will literally heal those too. So, for instance, if you have a rash, if you have problems with other things, this literally
I have
heals
eczema.
you.
Wait, Riley, wouldn't that heal your ears? Kind of.
Yes.
I mean, I have a scar. Like I have a.
It's not gonna. So that's the other thing. It will heal like anything that's hurting them now, but anything that's like, for instance, if you've got your arm cut off, like a scar, or this situation where you actually have a scar, no, it doesn't heal a scar.
Yeah. So anything related to a scar can't be healed.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
have
So
2
the
body
only.
marks, so I could
Yeah,
have a
the
drink
only-
and heal one.
Yep. Yeah, this will get rid of it. So.
Yeah, the only mark I have now is a bleed mark, so I don't think this does anything
It doesn't
for
do
that.
anything
Yeah,
for bleed or burn or
just
anything.
body.
Yeah, that's correct.
That feels good.
Riley takes a swig of wine. This does too.
My skin is clear.
It's
My
weird.
depression is healed.
Yeah, okay, so like while everyone
my
is
water.
at the table and after I finish my fish, I just have a look upstairs.
Okay, and it does. It will actually. This is the miraculous thing about this. In real life terms, this would be infinitely worth. Like, this would be priceless because it will heal things like eczema. It will heal things like, for instance, it'll even heal sexually transmitted diseases and other things like acne and stuff like that. This is literally an incredible miracle that you guys have just experienced going through it. Now, you don't know if it's infinite, but there is literally quite a bit of this material here. Yeah, you don't know if it stops aging. It might. You have no idea, but
because thing is, the Fountain of Youth, it doesn't just stop aging; it also heals everything because it reverses your body.
Yeah.
So.
But if you read the fine print on the bottle, it says Pepto-Bismol.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is what you see, Algernon. Does anyone else go with them, or is it just him?
I'm going upstairs too.
I'm eating.
Oh, yeah, I'm looking for the
I
biggest room.
want.
So
I know. I'm
From the
looking for a
fire.
bedroom.
This is the balcony. This is literally the balcony from upstairs. You can see down from here. You can see the living room. And as you go through here, there are these different, like, there's drawers here. As you go to, like, see, if you go to check these, though, they don't open. They're locked. Strange. Now there's a there's a small area here that looks like it's a storage area. Again, you own everything in here. The weird thing, though, and this is canon, it's not just built this way. You literally see out the window off into a void of a what looks like almost alien sun, and just whatever that is. That is a little frightening.
Is there a roll that I can do to just try and guess what it is?
Yeah, you can do a focus roll for this.
Okay, that is a focus. Okay. So that would be here. Boom.
Feels like we're on one of those airships.
Okay, that is a full success.
Your best
You're
bet
on a
is
roll
that,
today.
This is your best bet. Your best bet is that these windows are not showing you the outside. They're showing you where you really are. As if the place inside the house is not physically inside the house. You're
Like
seeing-
TARDIS.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
like the outside of it is like a shell, the door is the actual doorway, and then the inside is like a dimensional pocket dimension.
Now this
It's
this
the
door
TARDIS.
this door does not open at all. You do the same thing. It's like it's locked. And as a matter of fact, as you're going through, you can get into here because it's open, but the other door doesn't work. And this is what you guys will find. Now here's the other thing. You notice this immediately. It makes your blood run cold because that is not natural. Whatever this light is, that's not natural. Is that
Am I
a
able
joke?
to-
I was just say it's just chilling there in the middle.
Yes. It's this weird light source that's just slightly moving.
Uh,
Now, as you walk through it, it's incredibly cold on top of it.
okay.
Riley's gonna skirt around it, and she did hear something about this place being
Yep.
slightly haunted.
And
Yeah.
you see
So
another,
she's just
you see another over here too. That's definitely
Yeah,
a weird anomaly. As you walk through it.
Considering
wanna
I'm
run
on a
up and
roll,
talk
I
to
don't
the
want to
one.
jinx it.
You can.
yeah.
But I'm okay to do a sense roll on it to see what it is.
You can. Yeah.
I just
And
start
you can-
talking to it.
You can totally talk to it, lady. What do you want to say?
Okay, so
Hey, are you?
yeah, okay, there we go. So it sees all my luckers
are
ran
you a
out, and that is a
person?
double one.
Yeah. Yeah. You're just overwhelmed. You don't know. Go ahead, lady.
Excuse me. Are you sentient?
So, you don't hear a response, but you get an emotion back of curiosity. You just know that it is curious, but it doesn't say anything. And you can tell it's like now larger and more powerful to some degree now that you've noticed it, perhaps. But yeah, it doesn't say anything.
Yeah, okay. I'm probably just gonna like skirt around it and just look more around.
There is another hallway. Ludi, we'll get back to you, but you can stay with it if you want to.
I want to check out that statue and just ask it if it's sentient.
Yeah, so you do. The statue does not seem to move yet or say anything, but it is a good guess. Now, remember, everything
Honestly,
that's
that
on
looks
these,
like really
this,
cool armor.
it is. That's what I was about to say. Is that this is not really just a statue. What it really is a placeholder for armor that you now own, by the way. If you ever wanted to use
Riley.
it, yeah, this is stuff that you own. But so as you go down this hallway, there's a couple different things. So there are this painting. There is another room. You go and touch it. As you touch this room works this way. I'll tell you this one does too. There's more fish, by the way, in case you were. It does
random
exist here. This room works
snack
the same
for the
way.
road.
What these two rooms do is they actually replicate this room as well. These rooms literally replicate this room. So when you walk in, oh, by the way, there's another one that's incredibly bright and a different color before you enter this room. You kind of have to walk around it. But all the rooms look like this. So there are 4 rooms within this house. So all of you are going to have
We can access at the moment.
Yeah, exactly. All these 4 rooms are identical to this room when you touch them. The only reason I didn't want to open them is because there's a technical issue right now, but you'll see. You'll be able to get into it. But they're all identical to this room, and they all have a very large bed, and they have everything you see in here. And by the way, as you start to get things and stuff, I actually model them. I can put things within the shelves and all that stuff, so you guys can actually affect this.
Nice.
I want to just I want to sit in the rocking chair and just zone out for a long time.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, there is this, whatever this, there's like a weird just cloud of stuff, but you don't know what it is. And there's a light up there. But one thing that's interesting is as you literally go into each, all the rooms are the same, but as you go and lie on a bed or feel this bed, you get you immediately smell like you are outdoors, and it's a strong scent of pine and fresh rain and other things. It's literally set up to help you. It seems like go to bed, and they all have this cloud here, all of them. And there's some books here. There's all these paintings and stuff. Each room has a gramophone. And yeah, you guys are set up here. So.
Okay.
I want to talk to the fog again. Can you hear me?
Yeah. So you do talk to the fog. It does not respond, but you feel super calm, like really calm being inside of it. This one's not cold. This one's slightly warm.
Okay. Love you.
Yeah, but there's definitely more to this. There's obviously way more to the house, but
yeah.
Yeah.
So I would like to just go to the piano, and if I can remember anything, I'd try and play it.
Chopsticks.
I think as they've been.
So playing the piano is actually controllable. Yeah.
Nice.
If I do a focus, could I just like remember a song from like my childhood or something?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do focus and see if I can remember something. Then I'll do control and see how.
Yeah, while you play.
Either miraculously failing, I do it. Okay, that's a full success.
All right, so you definitely remember something you can play.
Yeah. Okay. Now control. That.
Mary had a little lamb.
That's another full success.
All right. Yeah. So you can decide what you want to play. Yeah.
Honestly, I don't really know. I'm probably just gonna say I'll play something from childhood. I don't know what to do.
That's fine.
Actually, you know what?
Flawless. Mary had a little lamb.
Let's do just like a random Mozart piece or
Yeah.
whatever.
That's fine. Yeah. No, if you're playing it well.
From childhood, he says.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you guys can hear that he's playing it well, and yeah.
I think as they've been walking around.
Yep.
Sorry, as
No, you go ahead.
we've all been walking around, and Riley's got it in her head like, okay, haunted house, don't know what's haunted. She's just talking to walls, she's talking to doors, she's talking to the lights, she's talking to the portraits. She's like, hi, we're new here. We just moved in today. I guess we're roommates.
Yeah. So
Be nice to us, we'll be nice to you. We don't mean any harm. We're really cool, I promise.
As you start to walk around and talk to everything, including all the paintings and stuff, one of the things that's a little unnerving is you swear a couple of times that some of those paintings' eyes are falling, but you're not exactly sure. But as you get down to this area here,
regardless, she's waving hi to everything with a face.
Yeah.
Even the suits of armor. The suits of armor, she's like, hi, armor's super cool.
Everyone hears this. It's a weird ethereal sound once you get back down here. The whole group hears this because it reverberates through the house. And it's a woman's voice, and it says, welcome.
Hi, house. Thank you.
It doesn't respond after that, but yeah. It does greet you. Now, there's another area down here.
Lovely to be here.
Go ahead. No,
I'd like to ask a silly question.
Yeah, sure.
You know how I have in my gear magic show gimmick?
Yeah.
Could I call that a spirit board?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just gonna, while you're doing that, I'll just roll a sense roll to see if I can like sort of sense the house, because obviously, you know,
Yeah, of course.
If it was the house, then yeah.
Yeah, so this is
Yeah,
when
yeah.
you guys.
I'll take the older because they're both 2. So
Yeah, you're just so overwhelmed by everything, and there's just too much going on.
yeah.
And as
Damn,
you,
I'm either really good or really bad this
so
time.
so this is one of the other things as you're getting to know the house. This is one of the other things you guys have access to. So there's a stairway up there. There's this curtain here as well too. There's this area that's kind of hidden around this area here, and you could theoretically use it as a hiding place underneath the staircase. There's that.
Ooh.
It's very dark here.
Oh, we can
As
hide.
as you start to walk up, yeah.
Could get a pull-out bed in there.
Probably good.
So
Yeah.
there is what looks like up here an office. So there is more books. There is these really strange, like lamps that look like they're actually lit by otherworldly means, like maybe ghosts themselves up here or whatever they are. There's a gramophone here. There's another sitting area, but this is definitely some kind of desk. Now there is more food and some other thing. You're not sure if this is wine or what the hell this is, but there's also these drawers too.
So I was just gonna move away from the piano and just wander around until I find that room, and then I'm just gonna study the globe and just try and remember as many places as possible. Like just burn them in my mind.
Yeah, so out of character, by the way, I'm in the process of reskinning this, but the original skin on this is so funny. This is the Elder Scrolls. This is Crocodile and Hammerfall, I think. But it will eventually. It just unfortunately this one's complicated because this one is by far like when this was originally put in as an asset, it was done really, really well to the point that if I put something else in, it looks like garbage compared to this thing. But but they but what it will show you is that so this whole place that you're probably in right now, you can see where there's a ton of archipelagos. That's on like almost like the southwestern side of this thing. As it spins around, there are whole continents on the other side. A lot of it is labeled as like the unknown regions. It's not fully explored, but not everything is archipelagos here. This whole area is, but there is some solid land, especially up north, especially in the west and in the south, of just large land masses. So it's not all archipelago. It does seem like a lot of the area here, though, is completely unexplored, as they like can map out kind of where things are, but you still have a lot of unexplored land that you would. There obviously really need explorers and stuff that still go out.
By the way, that's a 5 to memorize the globe thing.
Yeah, you can definitely do that.
Yeah. Okay.
And I just want to holler all throughout the house, because I'm in slumber party mode. Seance time! Who wants to have a seance?
Yeah. My character, after all this, like,
I mean, honestly,
it's also today, it's just like nope.
I mean, it makes sense to me too because honestly, I mean, if the house is full of ghosts and anyone is uneasy about that, people might want to for the first night, like sleep in the foyer together or whatever. But yeah.
Yeah, like my character will sleep in the room, but like he ain't doing the seance.
Yeah. But you totally can do the seance. You absolutely can do the seance if you guys want to. Yeah.
I want to do a seance.
Riley's gonna stand in the room with a plate of food, but she's not gonna participate. She's just gonna be there because she wants to know, but she doesn't want to know.
Yeah, like you can see Algernon just like peeking into the room from like all the way across the corridor. Like he's so far away from it. Like he's fine with everything else. It's just ghosts that are his limit at this point.
Okay, can I find some candlesticks to light and stuff?
Yes, there are candlesticks that you
Oh
can
yeah,
take.
Cor will help you out.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah, so you guys can go through that. You can sit on the floor if you want, or even sit in front of the fireplace.
Seance is an absolutely Cor's thing. I got you.
I'm gonna take a page out of Riley's book and just like stand with the plate of food and just like watch.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like you and I are shoulder to shoulder, leaning up against the wall by the door.
Mm-hmm.
Just like occasionally leaning towards each other, just like, I really hope they don't set anything off.
So
Let this go well.
First, I want to address the house as a whole. Witherwomb.
Yep.
Thank you so much for your graciousness for your hospitality. We're so thankful that you've allowed us to stay here. We're very, very blessed. And we welcome any presences that are around that would like to communicate with us through the spirit board.
Non-violently,
Or-
please. Riley
Any?
pipes up.
Cor, would you like to put your hand on the spirit board with me?
I had a whole thing of what initiating the contact. There's
Yeah.
it's Om Nam Shivaya. With a womb, we reach out to you from beyond. We're not from this world. We wish to communicate and cooperate. Hopefully, we can. Please answer what you can from the questions that we have for you, and trying to be as mysterious as possible. I'm really kind of hamming it up for Margot, because I'm gonna keep on trying to sell her my junk.
Okay. Yeah. Sure.
And Riley just pipes up out of the blue, just like, and if you have questions for us, like, ask and we'll answer.
As best as you can, but
As best as
Yes,
we
we
can.
are so grateful
right.
for your hospitality, Witherwomb. Thank you so much. And I'm just swaying side to side like I'm in some trance.
I'm not
So-
doing any of that though.
This is interesting. So, do me a favor. So I actually, so I rolled for this. Now I need one of you to roll. So now there's going to be 6 options. We'll just make it easy. So somebody give me a d6 for this. Let's see who you pick up.
I got a
Cool,
mixed
got it.
success.
A 5.
5.
A 5. Okay, 5.
Yeah,
Let
5.
me look up what 5 is. All right. Okay. All right. So you do hear a voice. It sounds like it's a squeaky voice that has female overtones to it. Something about it though doesn't seem almost like a person or so, and it says, "Treats. I want my treats."
Treats?
Yeah, they said treats.
It wants treats. Someone get a cupcake, quick.
Not quite sure
I'll
what that
take
is,
one
but I have
off of
some
my
cheese.
I'll
Yeah,
take a cupcake
like
off my plate and hand
across
it
the
to them.
hallway, I just like chuck just like a
How do we feed
small
cupcakes to a
bag of
house?
like fish that's just left.
Okay. So
I
what
pulled
kind
out
of
some cheese.
So what kind of treat do you try to give it?
Would you like this cupcake?
Okay. Now let's see if this is successful. So you're offering something that's disembodied, some food from across the void in this séance that you're doing. And who is doing this, by the way? Who is actually doing it?
Moody.
Ludi. Okay, perfect. So Ludi, do me a favor. Let's do it. Let's do a standard sense roll. No drives or anything.
Okay.
Even on a failure, it's not. This is not necessarily a failure. I'm just looking for whatever you have. Just give me whatever the drives are. Obviously, higher is better. Just tell me what it is.
Oh, I could have used a drive?
No,
Oh,
you can't
God.
use drives for this.
Oh, okay.
No.
So it's a 2.
Okay. So on a 2, the first time you go through it, it says, "Give me my yummy treats," and then it starts to say, "Come on, give me my treats," and it can't eat it or whatever. So now, if you want to, so Ludi, these are the options you have. If you really want to try to reach across the void and feed whatever is asking you for it, then you're going to have to. It's essentially you're going to have to make it happen through sheer will. Now, if you want to, you can use a sense roll with drives if you really want to.
Yeah. Okay. Is it possible for me to just walk up there and offer it fish, or is this only for them because they're a part of the seance?
Yeah, this is literally something that can only happen with a seance, and
Okay.
and it's not always the same thing. Although there is a way to get the same thing back if you want to, but we'll go through that first. So yeah, so you would have to do it, Ludi.
Core, do you know what treat they might want?
I think they want the bubble gum.
What if we need to throw it in the fire?
The bubblegum wine?
Yeah, the bubblegum wine.
Maybe pour a glass of the bubble gum?
I'll go grab the bottle and a glass and pour it and hand it to them.
Okay. All right. What do you guys do?
I'm not touching anything. I'm just looking at. I'm in a very Buddhist kind of meditation pose, with my eyes kind of rolled back, still hamming it up.
I have my head to the ground in honor and just lift up the chalice of bubblegum
Yeah.
drink.
Oh god, this is like proper
Rock
ritual
is
sacrifice type stuff.
So Ludi,
Rob
did you have you?
suppressing a laugh.
Are you drinking the liquid? Did you drink it before?
I drank it before. I'm not drinking it now.
Okay,
I'm just
alright.
offering it.
Yeah. No. It says. Ew. No. No.
Okay.
Riley's gonna walk up and hand you just a chunk of cheese.
Yes. Core, could you sense what they want?
Jeez.
Yeah,
It starts to whimper and be like, oh, no. It's like hungry, but it's. By the way, the more this thing talks, the more you don't think it might be a person. This is something else, maybe.
It's a baby animal.
I mean, to be fair, like I would have said like, the first thing that I thought was maybe you guys should do a sense roll to see if you could tell if it is actually a person or if it's a thing or like an object, like a haunted object.
I can try to do sense, but I'm not great at it. I was wondering if Core would try, but I can
No,
try.
Core can help. Core can definitely help, and you can also help Core. Like if you just want to try to help Core and Core wants to do it, that's fine. You guys are both in the seance, so.
Okay. Yeah, I would do that.
Alright, here we go.
Okay.
Full success.
Nice.
All right.
Nice.
So what do you offer it, Core?
Well,
And
my
it
bubblegum
couldn't
one.
Yeah, it didn't want the bubblegum. You did offer it the cupcake first, but it couldn't eat it. You can still offer it the cupcake again if you want with a success, but it's up to you.
Yeah, I'd recommend to go back to the cupcake.
All right. Okay, so you do, and this thing starts to literally devour the cupcake. And as it does, it starts to materialize in front of you, and this is what it looks like.
Oh damn.
And it says, that's what I wanted.
Oh, it's a spectral. Is that a cat or a fox?
It is what it is. You don't know. It looks
Okay,
exactly
let's
like
see.
this. Yeah.
Like based on the tail and general structure, it looks more like a fox than anything.
It's
says,
so
"Thank
cute.
Yeah, Mike. Yeah, Drake is now intrigued. Like he just casually walks up and just starts to just eat.
Now on a sense roll that's successful, after you feed one of these things, you notice that it's not ethereal. It's reflecting and refracting light. So if you want to try to touch it, it actually seems like it's like corporeal.
Okay. Is that only available to people in the sounds, or is it because now it's
You could
materialized?
anyone could try to touch it. No. The
Okay.
only the
You'd
people in the
have to
seance
come
though.
downstairs to.
Yeah, only
You're
the
welcome
people.
to join my
You
thing.
I will also
learned
be
my
clear.
lesson.
Only the people in the seance are directly connected to this entity, but it is corporeal for everyone. So you can talk to it now, and yeah.
Okay, so
I learned from the
downstairs?
lesson. I'm keeping my
Probably
distance.
okay, so is it a sway to try and like pet the thing?
Well, for this one, this one's a little more complicated. So you can definitely try to sway to pet it, but that's if it even lets you close to it. Now, I will say this. It's 10 feet up in the air above the fireplace. It's out of touching distance so far. If you want to try to do a sway roll to get it down, you certainly can.
I would
Okay,
like to.
I'm gonna do a very risky thing because I have 0 things in sway. So let's see how this goes.
I want
Oh
to also
boy.
sway.
Yeah,
Let's see.
you can
CO
sway it.
roll, boom,
I
0.
want to.
Okay, that is a mixed success. So that's a 4.
On a sway?
Okay,
Okay.
I
All
got,
right.
I
Yep.
got a mixed success as well. 5.
Well,
I want to just.
unfortunately, Ludi would win anyway because they're the one who seanced it. But
Yeah,
it
they're
does
the
still
one
come
in the
down.
tent.
It
Yeah.
does still come
I
down.
just want
So
to
Ludi, it gets
reach out
close
and
to
say
you.
hi.
Yeah, it gets close to you, and it
Hi,
says,
baby.
yeah, and it does. It actually says, thank you for the treatsy.
You're
And
welcome.
as you get closer to it, and you actually do you touch it?
I want to ask it if I can touch it. Could I give you chin scritches?
It'll put its head up. It allows you to touch it.
Okay, I wanna scratch it under the chin.
So this is the craziest feeling. So this is what it doesn't feel wet. However, it does feel like a gelled substance with hard, almost like bone underneath it, and it's
Ectoplasm.
literally solid. Like you don't even know if this is really a ghost. I mean, it looks certainly like it is to some degree, but this is now solid and with you.
Oh, you are so sweet.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fine. It literally you can tell that this creature mostly just wants to eat stuff and just kind of be around you. So like it doesn't look like it's hostile or anything.
Does it have a
Okay.
name?
Yeah,
Does
what's
it?
your name?
Oh, we'll probably have to ask it, wouldn't we?
Yeah,
If it was on. Yeah.
yeah,
I'm gonna do another sway roll, see what I get.
yeah. So
Yeah, that. Yeah, no, that's no.
so it does respond to you and it says, don't remember.
You don't remember your name?
Oh my god, that's so sad.
Is it okay if I give you a name?
Yep.
Can I call you Jelly Belly?
Jelly Belly. And it goes and it literally goes and it literally just like now sits on your lap. It literally lays down and goes on your lap. Now here's now that this is happening, here's what you're actually getting. Now that you've actually made real contact with this spirit or whatever it is, you start to really understand it because you're the one that did the seance. And what this is first of all, you get the very distinct impression that this is not a creature that's necessarily even from this place. It is from somewhere far off. That said, it has unfortunately been dead a very, very long time and has not been able to be corporeal for maybe thousands of years, which is why maybe it forgot its name. But now that it's with you and it's real and solidified, it's starting to like incorporate. These are just things instinctively. Core, because you were the one who also brought it in. Especially if you're petting it or touching it, you start to also feel these things as well. Now here's how this works. The mechanic behind this is that once you bring a creature in, and you solidify it and bind it to you, as long as you do the ritual once a day, it stays indefinitely as a thing. Here's the catch, though. And by the way, I didn't know which one you were going to pick. There's several things that you can do. Unfortunately, when you dissipate it, it starts to forget its consciousness again and goes off into the ether, and it's like killing it all over again, unfortunately. But if you do the thing once a day, you keep it.
So I have to keep giving it cupcakes?
You have to go through the whole thing once a day. You have to do the seance. You have to do your whole seance thing, feed it, and it'll bind it to reality. Now here's the
Should have
thing.
named it Cupcake.
Now here's the other thing. If you get rid of it and you dispel it essentially by not doing it, after a day, sometimes it can be fine, but I roll for that. If you get it again, it's like starting from scratch. It forgets. It's like you kill it again. Unfortunately, it forgets everything and it goes back in. Yeah. This goes for all of them, by the way. So.
So it's like a whole loop type situation.
Yeah, but if you do it once a day, now here's the other thing that's interesting. So they all have something. There is way more to all of these things, and they can literally leave the house. Now, here's the disadvantage of this: you have no idea what the culture is. You have no idea what people will do, whatever. But literally, as long as you keep it, you actually have it. You keep it. There's a lot of things that go on with this house that are. This is just the tip of the iceberg. Now, that said, you can try to summon other things too, but it's realistic and like real life. You're literally killing them and resummoning them. So
if I try to get another, then
Right.
Jelly Belly is gone.
that's right. Jelly Belly will die again in the sense that it will lose all its memories, but you can still get Jelly Belly back. It's just not going to remember everything. It won't even remember its
It's
name
like
again.
31st Dates.
Yeah.
Okay, now because you said from like all the way back when the start of the seance you had to roll for it, I'm assuming there's like different creatures with like different forms and stuff that could have potentially
Yes.
come.
It's not just creature. There's other things too.
Okay.
There's
This could
also
have been bad.
also I will say this on a 1, there's only one that's potentially dangerous, and that's your 1. So
So
Okay.
yeah.
So just try not to get a 1 if you want to play it safe. If you do get a 1,
Yep.
be careful.
Now there are advantages of binding with them. The more you go, the more it's like real life. You'll see. There's things that go on. But yes, this exists now outside of the house. But remember, you have to do the seance. Now, you can do the seance at this point once it's bound, and it's bound to you, by the way. You can do the seance outside the house, and you're fine. You don't have to go back to the house once a day. It's just the seance. If you die, if you die, Ludi, if you die, you're also killing this thing because it's going back to the house where it's bound, and it's dead,
Oh,
and you have
so
to
it's
show it
like
again.
the whole
No.
Laravel
You are
situation where
literally a
if Wiggles
beacon.
dies,
You are
then
literally a
Laravel
lightning
goes.
rod for its consciousness to recoalesce. It has not been conscious like this for a long time.
So I'm just stuffing cupcakes into my bag, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna look around the house for some sort of like little, sweater that it can wear that
Okay.
will make it not look so weird when we go outside.
Yeah.
Or
You
can't
totally
believe that Ludi just
Maybe I'll find
convinced.
some yarn.
We've just adopted a fur baby, a ghostly fur baby.
Now, I will say, out of character, they all have things. They all have their things. So you'll see. It's not just a cute toy. It's other.
it's like a
things too.
familiar.
Exactly.
So is it like 1 per person or 1 per group?
Unfortunately, these things are 1 per group. Now, here's the thing. You will see everything within this. So here's the other thing that's interesting about the setting. We're not playing Candela Obscura anymore. We're not even close to it, because you'll see what we're actually playing is something different, because there are a ton of there are over 8 hidden prestige classes, and this house is tied to 2. So there are 2 prestige classes that are hidden within the house. And this might, if you really go down the path, might have something to do with that. So, but anyway, that's why it's separated too. Other groups, by the way, might also get access to this house the house is a whole thing. It can get bigger and all kinds of things.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But for now, it is unfortunately 1 per group. But that said, it's like I said, unfortunately, it's realistic. Where if you can try to get other things, but you have to kill them and bring them back.
Don't you dare hurt Jelly Belly.
Does Jelly Belly have some special tricks, or?
You'll have to wait and see. Right now, no. Now, no.
Is it the whole thing that you did with Larry, where it's like we only know about them when they do it?
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
And it depends on how long you keep them around. It depends on if you align with them. It depends on if you treat them well. There's all kinds of factors here.
Yeah, okay. So it just depends on age and when they do them that you learn that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think
and
at
remember,
this
they're not
point,
all animals. They're not all familiar-like things. But again, it's completely random. But yeah, so.
Yeah. So, like, after I see that, I just walk up to everyone and I'm like, okay. So, after we've rested and everything, what would be the game plan while we wait for the guy to get back to us? Because from what we've seen so far, it's only humans here. Larian would stick out like a sore thumb, depending on where she is. We should probably find her, because I don't know about you, however, I've gotten kind of attached to her, so we should probably find and
Yep.
get her back here, where
Yeah.
she's
I
out
I
of...
mean,
understand.
I just want to explore the town. I mean,
And we still have to find Sarah.
Yeah,
As
I
in
know,
the
it's
front
just
desk, but
one of the many, like, priority things that we should probably
I am
do.
exhausted, and we haven't gotten any rest in days.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then again, yeah, you should probably get rest first.
So this is what I'm going to
So
say. You
after,
guys are so close. You guys are so close to time. Let's take the next 15 minutes to role play, and then we will start right where you guys want to go. So I know, and so I can get things loaded next time. What are you guys leaning towards as far as what you want to do?
Like after getting out of here.
Yep. Yep.
yeah, so after we've rested, we need to find the friend of Evelyn. We need to
Yeah.
find Larian, and then obviously when that guy gets back to us, we then also need to explore the Mytsalmere
Okay. Cool. All right.
group.
So, but I'll let you guys role
Okay.
play from here. So, sorry to interrupt you. Keep
Okay.
going.
So we have
Um,
those to do. Anything else that popped into their minds other than just exploring the place that you want to do, other than finding those things?
Riley's gonna go and find like a room of her own, preferably one with a bath.
They're all the same.
Oh
so
my
here's
God,
the
yes.
Sink.
here's the interesting thing with the house. The house, surprisingly, does not actually have bathrooms that you can see, and that is really concerning to you guys. You're gonna have to talk to them because I mean, how could a house exist without bathrooms? This is what you actually see going through it. So
I'm talking to each
use
and
the
every
rugs.
door. I'm talking to the doors. I'm talking to the portraits. I'm talking to the lights. Hey, so I'm starting to get a little musty. Is there a washroom or like a pump outside or a special like
A
laundry
bathtub,
room
please.
someplace?
So as you go into one of the rooms that are
Like-
similar to this, as you start to walk around and go through it, one of the things that you notice is this. As you literally walk within this area and are talking about it or whatever, you literally feel that your entire body is cleaned. And there is an area that is set up as like a washroom or whatever, but you have to literally close your eyes and reopen it. It's not set up yet, but you'll get to see it. It's literally like an outside area that's like a forest, and there is like a place obviously to use the restroom and stuff, but it's literally outside. You don't know how it works, and it's always through this whatever this thing is. So yeah, I mean, this place is absolutely beyond like anything that you guys have ever experienced.
Is there anywhere else that we haven't explored yet?
Not that you,
Like any rooms or anything?
not that you can see
Nothing.
because the other rooms are locked for now. Yeah, it doesn't seem like it. Yeah.
And there's no balcony that we can access because
As a matter of fact, you can't even get
I
out.
see
Like
one.
if you go
Yeah.
to try to open the windows, you don't know why they're all barred and impossible to open, but you have seen outside now, and it doesn't look like it's necessarily inviting.
Yeah, it's probably a good idea that
That's
they're barred and
curious.
locked.
Yeah.
I would probably just look inside the glass cases to see if
But
there's
by
anything.
the way, no matter what time of day it is, you always have this weird day, like
Light.
moonlight
Yeah.
weirdness always.
Oh
Can
yeah,
you
the
look out the
sunbeams.
window?
So it's
Yeah.
almost like on a different plane.
Exactly.
Oh,
That's exactly right. And as you go out and look
God,
at the
right,
windows,
yeah.
I'll show you what it looks like. It's actually a little frightening. So, as you go outside to look outside,
Oh, that's not comforting at all.
yeah, as you go to look
We've
outside,
seen some shit.
this is what you end up seeing. You end up seeing a void of infinite space and infinite light. But worse, so this is the one that's confusing. But worse, there's a better vantage point out here where you can see whatever the light source is, the sun, if you want to call it that, going through it. And this is what it looks like.
when you get to a window.
Yeah. It's just like infinitely nothing. There's no,
I
there's nothing else
swear,
there.
I think
It's
I
like
feel like we're
literally
in one
you
of
see
those
like black things.
airships.
Yeah. It doesn't make any sense. You don't get a good feeling looking outside. It's frightening to some degree. Yeah. You don't
Does
see.
it feel
Yeah.
like the flare?
It does feel like it could be. It does feel like it could be something like that, yes.
Ah,
Feel like we're in these
so
clouds.
yeah. To be fair, this like just saying out of character and probably in character, this has a feeling of like a space in between realms type thing, like the realm between realms, if.
Now
Like
you do
limbo of
remember what he was
sorts.
saying. He said that every every recruit from the Order of Mytsalmere has to stay there because it prepares them, and maybe it has something to do with where it's at too.
Yeah. Oh, like the body's slowly acclimatized to stuff or something.
Maybe, yeah, maybe.
Or the ghost post their trials.
Hell
So
yeah.
Don't
I think
my
I'd probably
continue.
walk over and I'd grab another book and go sit by the fire.
Yep. Cool.
uh my main priority as a new mother is to protect this baby, and I want to try to find something that I can wrap it in to if we do go outside, make it look like a real baby or
Yeah.
something.
Now it doesn't. Now here's the
And
thing. It doesn't like to be wrapped up, but you teach it.
uh
But you teach it hates it actually. But you teach it. And by the way, if you're going to be the one that focuses on this, if you teach it enough and you spend the time, it will
mhm.
finally understand that you're doing it for its own good, and it will just relax and let you start to wrap it up. But at first, of course, it hates it. It's like, no, I don't
Yeah.
like any of this, and it
I would like
squiggles around,
to
and yeah.
I would like to gently, just get it into the idea of swaddling, and then I'm just gonna cuddle it all night long
Now, here's
and
if you do
snuggle.
that, if you do that, you'll start the whole thing, and if you spend enough time with it, what'll happen for our next session is that one of the things that you are going to be able to do with this is that you can literally command it because remember it flies essentially. It can go through things. You can kind of like command it as long as it's within 30 feet of you to go into different areas, and this can literally go through walls. And
Yes.
literally once a day for 5 minutes, which is an eternity in this game, you are able to actually see through its eyes. So this is literally a familiar.
What?
Hell
That's just the
yeah.
Oh
beginning.
god, it's
Now
Failure!
here's the thing. There are
That's
consequences to this because what will end up happening is
obviously.
this: if I'll just tell you out of character because you'll see. I won't. I don't want to surprise you because it's super painful anyway. So, this creature can be obliterated. It will not die though. What'll end up happening is someone can like cut through it, shoot it, whatever. If that happens, you literally take yourself now that you're bound to it 3 body marks, and that's literally your penance. So what ends up happening is the creature gets obliterated, you take the damage, but the creature never dies. It's immortal. Now here's the thing: because this is now an extension of you, and because this can get you killed, you literally have to treat it like it's your life now. So that's the problem. Like you can always use it to scout and other things, but if someone shoots it or something, you literally take the 3. Like if they destroy it, you're gonna take 3 body marks for this thing. Now it comes back. That's the good news. Now it will coalesce and come back inside either the house, if you're near the house, or the next time you do the seance, whichever one, and you get to keep it. This is just the beginning though, like I said, and so even though this is very very powerful, but it's risk versus reward because it's super easy to kill.
Yeah. Question, would it be a whole blank slate after it
No,
reforms, or would it
no.
keep a
As
string?
long as she's
Okay.
alive, no. It does not blank slate on
Okay.
you. But you have to do the seance. If you forget the seance once, and I'm keeping track, even let's say you have the best intentions, but you just forget, it's going to die. So to remember that too. That's the other punishment, is that literally it will die and you'll bring it back and have to learn it all over again. That also is super punishing because it's not just that it'd be sad, right? It's literally every ability you ever gain from this goes away and you start from scratch. So you really have to be on your game. Like whoever has this has to be on their game and remember that. And I'll tell you, we'll keep track of the time for this. So I will tell you when you're coming up on your thing too. But if you forget, you kill it. It's like Gremlins,
Okay,
right? Like it's
so
like you feed after midnight. That's it. Whatever. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm erasing my specialty magician and turning it into specialty mother.
Beastmaster.
Oh, does the
Now,
seance require more than one person?
No, it can be done with one person, but here's the other thing, Core. If you're helping with this, you will see there could be benefits from that. So you might want to continue to help. What you'll see, but yeah.
My two moms.
Did anything happen when I read a book?
Yeah. So what did you get? What was your sense roll? And what is the question you're asking, by the way?
So since I had 2 wins, so I rolled 2 dice, and then I take the higher, or do I?
The higher.
Okay.
The higher. Yeah.
So I rolled a 5.
Okay. Yeah.
And my question's gonna be, what is Candela Obscura?
That's a good one. All right. So as
Big question.
as you ask, this is really good because now you get to see the limits of this. As you ask that question, it gives you back a bunch of nonsense, and it finally shows you the journal entry of a man named his name is John Silas. So John Silas is the person who discovered what he called a tuning rock way underneath this archipelago, deep. Like there was literally a cave system that he found it, and the name Candela is written on it, but it has no idea what Candela. It just gives you his journal entry that tells you that he has no idea what Candela Obscura is, but the name Candela was found in this. So you actually get to read his journal entry, but it doesn't know. Maybe because it's not from here.
Okay. So out of character,
And
that
I'm the only one
is
who knows this. They don't like
You're-
hear it out loud or
Oh no
anything,
no no
right?
no! You are the only one who knows it.
Yeah,
This
so
is
like, out of
private
character, like if your character does show, that is another thing to note, to check out.
If you share, yeah. If you share this, yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
it
just like
doesn't
out
know
character.
things that are not of this world, apparently.
Okay,
Okay.
I guess that makes sense. Yeah, because how the hell are you meant to know what's happening in America when you're not checking the news?
Now here's the interesting thing with this. So the way the game has a bit changed since you guys have played it, and this is going to go for everyone. That's why. So these things, whatever this house is, we'll put it this way: there are more than one, and there's a reason why there's more than one. Not just from the game perspective, but in our lore and story. And the reason why the libraries are so important is because literally, if you do not do your homework now and you just go off guns blazing, and like let's say that one of the things, and this will not be that, but let's say that one of the things is you're investigating a werewolf, right? That's not even a thing here. They're all more complicated than that. But let's pretend these werewolves exist. If you don't know to kill them with silver bullets, they're just going to rip through you and kill you, and they're just going to be immortal.
Yeah, because you wouldn't know in character
So
to get silver.
Exactly. So that's how that's how crucial this library is. So
Yeah.
this is your way of investigating things and making sure you don't just get obliterated.
Question.
Can you
could
ask questions once a day?
Yes, it's once. It's
okay.
It's actually once a day. Now there are times like on critical failures, on failures in general,
Like
things
that.
happen, but on critical failures, not only do you get locked out, but bad things can happen, and you'll see why too. You can also learn all about these books. There's a lot of stuff to learn.
Okay.
This library.
So, because you said there are multiple of these buildings, I'm assuming all having their own individual libraries, would there be a way to, like, merge the libraries, like, to access them all at different points, or can you
Yeah,
only
you'll have to
access
see.
that library at a point?
You will have to see. The answer is that, yeah, the answer is that once you find the other groups that have their other things, and by the way, maybe not all of them are from the Order of Mytsalmere, and there could be reasons for that and all kinds of stuff going on. But
Yeah.
but once you figure it out, yeah, there are advantages of going to other libraries and stuff.
To be fair, originally I said that this is like a house that looks like from Harry Potter. Now it sounded more like the House of Mysteries from DC.
Yeah, you'll have to see.
Yeah. If you guys know what that is. If not, it's just like this extra dimensional house that contains a bunch of like magic items and stuff, and there's all sorts of, well, secrets in the house that haven't fully been explored yet.
Sounds like a Constantine deal.
It is, yeah, Constantine actually owns the house.
Oh, okay.
He's currently exploring the different types of soaps. Like, what? This one smells like chamomile.
Yep.
Chamomile.
What is
Like
this?
roses.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, because it's not even modeled, what I can do is everyone does. I will say that everyone actually does have their own unique forestry area where you get clean and you can take care of your business. You guys, if you want to, can flavor those and we'll make them canon. You can do your own.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah. I'm going on Pinterest later.
To be fair,
Making
I
a mood
probably
board.
will also. I'll probably look at just forest stuff, and it won't be like a standard green forest. It will act like one, but it will probably just have like weird colors and stuff.
Oh, I can tell you now because I've been to one
Now,
that I'm picturing in my mind.
the other thing is because we're playing a game, and I know a bunch of people are used to D&D and stuff. This one's so much more like real life in the sense that if something happens and you literally decide, fuck Mytsalmere, fuck all this stuff, and get out. Remember, they do own the house, and even though you can keep your familiar, if something happens to the familiar and you say fuck to them, and you have to get it back, like you kill it, and it's gonna like you lose all its memories, but you still want it back. You still need access to the house. So just remember that, because I know we've already had a situation in another group that wasn't here with something else that was very much like that, and they didn't really think through that. And it's like, but wait, that's my ability. Wait, that's my thing. Like it's a game. Like what? No, like it's not going to work that way. Like you're not going to keep your abilities just because you can't get.
Yeah.
So that just to understand that. Yeah.
I'll be honest though, and because it's like more lifelike in D&D, it also just leaves it more open to roleplay as well, because it's not as restrained by rules and game logic.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about that. It's like a good feeling that, you can do a lot more stuff, but there's also that strange sense of like, well, you can do all this stuff, but there's not a lot that you can fall back on that, like, unless you specifically know you have it. You like no hidden
Yeah, no,
mechanics,
I mean that's
oh.
definitely true. The other thing that's different with this game for everyone should keep in mind is that because a lot of the prestige classes are hidden and stuff, the game is not necessarily like there's no balance as far as fairness. It's way more like real life in the sense that you guys just do what you do and you hope for the best, and not everything is fair in that sense. Just like real life isn't fair, and you just have to, this is all by your own creative merit essentially. Not necessarily because we have now balanced all these individual classes and everyone is the same. So, because that is the core spirit of 5th edition. Like, no class is so much greater than another class. And that's really how it is here too, to some degree, because that at least part is balanced. However, it's not fair in the sense that, like, you guys had no idea that there was a thing here to go through it. You just stumbled upon it because you're, doing things. And that's how all the prestige classes
It's like the whole Mr. Wiggles entity thing.
Exactly,
like we never knew about it. We just stumbled upon it.
Right, exactly.
And then, like a session and like an extra session later, we found
some people hate that because
it.
again, there's no justice to it in the sense that like it's not fair. You can't pick things ahead of time. Not everyone gets things equally and all that. It's just this is the game we're running, so I just wanted to give people a heads up. No one's really complained about that, but in the beginning, when I went through it with others, they were like, "Oh yeah, fuck that," because like nothing's fair and people can get things and blah blah blah. But that is just how we're running it. So just as a heads up.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I could definitely see both arguments for it, but
makes sense.
Yeah.
Well,
Riley's now in the natural hot spring.
All right, so yeah, if you guys don't have any other roleplay, we'll call it here, and then we'll start right where we left off, and we'll go from there.
Yeah.
Cool.
Actually, question:
I gotta head out.
how does resting work in Candela? By the way.
So the way that it works, is that once you guys get a full rest, everyone gets a drive back, but you have to choose which area. If you actually take the real downtime, which is a week of downtime, not only do you get all your drives back, but you can actually heal up. It just so the recipes for that is it depends on how creative you are. If you can give me a logical reason why you can actually heal and do these things within a week, then you succeed. If you don't, then you only get certain things back or whatever. But for drives, you generally would get all of them back in a week. A day, and you have to choose which drive area you're getting back. So,
What about resistances?
so resistances you don't actually get back until an investigation is over. But the way that we're playing it, because investigations are so long, your resistances do you get one resistance back every 3 sessions, and you get and if you keep track of that, it takes for most people around 9 sessions to get all of them back if you start using them.
But technically, wasn't our first investigation that at least I participated in? Wouldn't that have been to deliver the egg? And
Yes.
technically
So that's what I was about to get into. Once we officially start, I'm actually going to give you guys a blank slate. So once we officially start on the other investigation, you guys will absolutely get your drives back and go through it. As a matter of fact, depending on what you do next session, you can build in rest so that we can start that officially. But yeah, absolutely. That's going to count as an investigation. You also get to start your first thing of leveling. Once you get your new portion going into this, and once you're actually inducted in the Order of Mytsalmere, we'll start your new circle stuff too.
And there's no way to rest away bleed marks, right?
So that's the thing. Since we're going to be starting from since you've already done investigation, if you guys do the whole week of downtime, if you're just like, you know what, guys, we're hurt, we've already done stuff, we already did something with the scar. If you do it, yes, but you have to be creative and tell me how you're resting it off, and then but you have to take a week, and then you get to start from scratch. Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
So Chris, everyone's level 1. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, except for it's a way more complex in Candela, but that's pretty much the case. Yes.
Okay.
I have the equivalent of level 3s, and I have 2 level 3s, 1 level 4, and this is the newest group at level 1 technically. But again, it's so much more complicated than that. But yeah,
That's fine.
Yeah, super cool sword.
So then it sounds like there's a magician.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. I've just turned into mother.
Mother. Yeah. And it sounded like somebody was a brawler of some type. Muscle.
Explorer, yeah.
Explorer, yeah, but it is the same
Explorer?
thing. It's a fighter essentially. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's my night job. If you've ever heard of me, I'm called the Indomitable Dame.
I am the group doctor. So
I'm a scholar.
Don't say
medium.
that. It's
I'm a
really
nerd.
useful. It's really useful.
I have been used.
yeah, you have.
I mean, you're way more useful than me with the majority of the stuff that we're dealing with here. Because I'm just like, wait, just put something in front of me so I can hit it.
Saved my life multiple times.
So there's a professor, not a scholar. There's a scholar class and the
Oh
professor.
no, I'm the professor. Yeah.
You're a professor.
Yeah, scholar
Okay.
class.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, scholar has both professor and doctor. So
Yes.
Mhm.
Yep.
And we have one of each.
Okay.
I'll
Great.
just use more.
What they don't have, what they don't have is
Is
criminal
like a
or
Okay.
or the other one, which is detective, I believe. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna make a criminal or a detective. That's cool.
We don't have soldier, do we?
We don't
No.
have soldier either. That's
No.
that's the other explorer. There's explorer.
I was playing, I was playing between the two, but I was like, do I want to be a soldier this time? Nah.
No, that's cool. I
we're
will
literally
fill
missing that
the
entire
slink
area,
role.
so I think
I'll,
that makes
I'll
more
fill the
sense.
slink roll.
yeah,
No, I'm good.
We're still quite varied though. Like,
I'm perfectly happy with that.
Yep.
Yeah, I can make something fun.
Cool. Awesome.
Well,
I
I
mean,
have
my
to.
dog's name is Dr. John H. Watson, so I mean,
Beautiful.
Oh,
I have
what
to
a
head
thing.
out, so
All right,
I'm
cool.
gonna. Good night.
Okay.
Yeah, good night. Good night. Good
Hey,
night.
I'll
have a
see
good
you
Yeah,
night,
so
next
guys.
if you
week.
create a character, next session we'll bring you in.
Okay, yeah, I'll send I'll send you a link, and then I guess you'll need to add me to the
Yep.
actual
No, I will. Yeah.
group chat.
Yeah.
But that's a minor worry.
No, I'll send you in now. I'll put you in now. Cool.
Cool. All right,
Awesome.
awesome. Thanks, guys.
All right. Thanks.
details
Yeah. Thank you.
nice. All
See
right.
ya.
Good
Great
game.
session, y'all.
Yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff.
All right. See you next week.
All right. Cool.
Till next
See you guys
time.
later.